What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing good. Oh wow, we got 20 people. What's up, everybody? All 20 of you, I hope you're having a good day today. And welcome back. I'll give myself a welcome back as well. Glad to be back. As you know, I did get my account permanently taken away, so there was a bit of panic here, not gonna lie. And I was about to make a new YouTube channel and just hope you guys found me. That was a little concerning, a little scary. But we are here, so thank you guys. All right, let me check on some of your comments here. Yeah, we'll talk about some Doge thoughts in just a moment. What's going on, Dr. Dre? Doge. Palantir, I like that excitement. What's up? Jonathan, what's up? Rick Cogswell, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Shuba, wondering what happened? Don't be like your boy. Call me Upshot. That's my second name now. What happened? I thought you may have dipped on us like the crash back in May. What's up, Josh? I'll explain what happened in just a moment, guys. Wendy, what's up? YouTube was tripping yet again. Yeah, really, that's what ended up happening. FPF, they tried to take you away when we need. I know. I felt pretty bad too because there was not much I can do. I mean, we've got Twitter. That's really the only other way I talk to you guys, unless you're in the Discord group. So we had all this stuff going on with the price action. We had a breakout on Bitcoin, which led Dogecoin to move up a bit, and had some Elon tweets as well. And I couldn't go live, man, because my channel was deleted. Permanently deleted, by the way. And let's just take a quick look at the screen. And you could see that we are at 19.5 cents Dogecoin. Now, Bitcoin at the same time is at about 34,500. So that's kind of what I want to talk about here. Is that good or is that bad? And you guys might be wondering, like, what's my take on what's going to happen next? And I will say that is the question of the day, maybe even question of the week. What is going to happen next? So we'll definitely talk about that. However, Bitcoin is getting close to that level. And so I'll just start it off with a quick summary that Bitcoin is coming right back to 35,000. Okay, so this area is extremely important. Extremely important. All right, let me catch up on some more comments, guys. Then I'll explain what happened to the channel, and then we'll do a little bit of TA on the charts and figure out what's going to happen next so we can be prepped. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please consider liking the stream. Consider it maybe a gift to me coming back, but see if we can get up to like 20, get a couple more people in here. I appreciate you guys. The Elon tweets didn't do anything at all. Yeah, not really. Yo, for real, no joke. I feel like they took them away right when this stuff was pumping. I'm starting to wonder, guys. Each time we've had a lot of people on these streams on this channel, that's when we've seemed to have gotten deleted. Because this is the third time. I don't know if you guys, all of you, were here. Thank you guys for those likes. Now we're at 10. Appreciate that. I don't know. I know all of you haven't been here the whole way through, but this is the third time, and some of you have been here for all three. So it really sucks. Let's see. I can flip this off. All right, guys. So let me just go ahead and explain what happened. We'll take a brief moment, and I'll just break down really quick why I got banned. I'm sure I'm going to have to explain this a couple times as people roll into the stream, but we'll just start it off with a quick explanation. So I don't know if you're familiar with YouTube and how YouTube works, but as a content creator, there are certain rules that you have to adhere to, and YouTube does have their own terms and conditions. in those terms and conditions, there's a lot of different rules, and they cover all kinds of different categories. Like if you want to upload videos and be a content creator, your content, like it can't contain pornographic content, harmful, violent, suggestive content like that. Dangerous, anything that incites people to do anything dangerous. Scams, they don't like people that upload videos that are like scammy or misleading, or just anything that could be potentially harmful to another person's life in some kind of way, whether you're financially scamming them or just misleading them in some kind of way. And it goes way beyond that too. It gets very in depth in each category. It's supposed to be a safe space according to YouTube. And so what they have is, YouTube's owned by Google. Google is super into AI. And so basically they have their bots that they've coded go around and they search people's titles for words, trigger words that could potentially be indicating that the video or the content breaks the rules in terms. And so if they stumble across a video with a title like that, like fully naked, blah, 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 right? That video is probably going to get taken down, and that channel will get suspended automatically just because they're assuming. Or, they'll check the comments on videos, they'll check the description. If something seems fishy, they'll suspend your channel. If your channel infractions are what the system picks up to be really, really bad, and they're like, oh my goodness, like this is absolutely breaching our terms by far, they won't even give you a warning, and they will just permanently terminate your channel. And when they do that, they're not just deleting your YouTube channel, they're deleting your whole YouTube account to make sure you cannot interact on YouTube anymore. And that's the part that really annoys me, I think even more than anything, is that it's not that they just take all my videos down and say I can't upload. I can't watch YouTube on my phone logged into my YouTube account anymore. Like, I don't have my people I'm subscribed to's content. I don't have any, like, you cannot log into YouTube. You have to use a different account or no account. So your whole YouTube account that's associated with that Gmail is banned from logging in. It is extremely annoying. And then after a period of time, once they've finished completely deleting your channel portion, then they'll give you back your YouTube portion, and you'll have to remake a YouTube account again. They'll let you log in, but you have to start from scratch. It is extremely annoying. All right. Now, the first two times they permanently banned my account for harmful content. And so it said, for more information, please read our info on what harmful content is. And so I went, checked the email, it led me to the site, and I started reading. And like I said, things that could incite people to like commit, do something dangerous to themselves, harmful. I don't want to get banned again, so I'm not even going to say that word. Or just anything that could be potentially bad, something extremely dangerous, something, that's encouraging self-harm, whatever. And so I'm talking about the stock market here, right? I'm teaching people how to trade. How's my content harmful? Well, I realized that in one of my titles, it said like insane crash coming, and maybe they saw the word crash and they're like, oh gosh, this is a gory video, 18 plus crash footage. I'm going to delete the channel. And so the bots, just really dumb. I appealed. Okay, we can't have the words while I'm also trying to talk. And so I appealed, and of course I got the channel back because they had humans review it. And once the humans reviewed it, they were like, oh, sorry guys, sorry, here's your channel back. Then it happened again for the exact same reason, harmful content. Instead, it didn't say insane crash. It said, it said something. Oh, it said come Webull users come hang out. And I guess they thought I meant like hang, you know what I mean, And so they permanently deleted my account because of that title. I'm like, come on, guys. Come on, hang out. Are you kidding me? Now, this time was a different reason. I got the email saying why it was deleted like yesterday morning. And it said, we've permanently banned your account because of misleading information, misleading content, or spam. And so then I went into the details, and they said that my content was like misleading. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? What could potentially be misleading or considered as spam that we do on this channel? There's nothing. You see my advertisement for my site. There's no misleading thing there. And what we talk about on this channel is the complete opposite of misleading. So anyway, obviously I knew I was going to get my channel back, but I was down for over 24 hours, so I couldn't do a stream for like a night and a half. So that was really annoying. So sorry about that, guys. But what drives me crazy is that, I mean, this is the third. I've only been streaming since May, right? I've only been doing these streams since I think early May, maybe late April, and that's about 3 months. This is the third time, so a permaban per month is not acceptable to me. So if there's any other YouTube-like platforms that aren't Twitch, because I don't think this is really Twitch content, then I will start looking around if they're going to keep doing this to me, because it's just not okay. But anyway, so that's what happened, guys. Just another day in the life of a person that streams every single day, and maybe they just are target banning me because maybe the market makers are reaching out to them and are like, wait a minute, this guy's he's guiding these retail traders. We can't make money off of them anymore. Anyway, hit the like, guys. Yeah, I appreciate that. And thank you. We got up to 20. So for anybody that ever asks, why do I say, please click the like button so much? Sometimes people forget. And when you actually click it, we get way more people in here. So thank you. The thing with Bitcoin, it's true, it looks bullish, but when you zoom out, you see that it still looks bearish. Oh yeah, I read that one. To the moon by September, 50 cents. I like that enthusiasm. Look at Josh with the rockets. Heck yeah, man. Michael says, how's it going? Missed a lot due to a litter of puppies. Well, that's cool. Congrats on that. It's going good, and we're about to talk about what's going on with the price action here. As you can see, we've moved up quite a bit. No such agency. Make sure you do not say make money. Armies called that tactic scorched earth policy. Joking, of course. What did you say before that? I didn't see your first message. One new. It didn't come through. Yesterday, I was really like, oh man, time to get all my crypto out of tech officials not here no more. I'm more assertive yesterday, and the AI did not like that. Maybe not. Under just chatting? Ah, okay. I'm Moses to your lamb. Keep doing my thing. Thank you. No, we just got started. We're all good. All I did was explain what happened and why I got permabanned. Basically, YouTube just improperly flagged my content as misleading and harmful, which is the third time they've done that, and then gave it back to me. So, anyway, just another day. How's everybody else doing, though? It's been a long time. Wow. Hope everybody else has been having a good weekend. I will say the store's been doing pretty well, guys, so thank you for your support as well. Already got a couple orders, and a couple of those orders were made with Dogecoin. And I think the one of the two people that checked out on the store and used Dogecoin are here already. And I've gotten some feedback, and they said it was super smooth, like really easy. So I think that's awesome. And it's actually like easier than checking out with your card. Too bad you're stuck on Robinhood. So, oh yeah, here's another thing. So I opened up the store so that you can use any method of payment that you want. So I think I was a little overly ambitious with forcing people to use Dogecoin over anything else. I mean, obviously, I want to fully support the Dogecoin movement because, you know, I'm all about that, and I do see a future where Dogecoin kind of takes over and becomes the currency that we use. But I think I just got a little overexcited. And so on my store and kind of on here too, I'm going to dial it back a little bit. And because there's some people that, yes, they want to use their Dogecoin long term, but they may not just want to spend it right now, or maybe they can't also, like. And I want to encourage people to get like a Coinbase account and be in a situation where you can utilize Dogecoin for what we want to. But also, if you want to just save your Doge and wait for the price to go up before you start spending it, not selling it, but spending it, you know, I should allow that as well. So I opened it back up. So you can use cash or card. You can use debit or credit like normal again. You can use Amazon Pay again. PayPal, not quite yet. I'll get that up by end today. And then you can also pay with other cryptocurrencies too, because I didn't want to shove like Dogecoin down everyone's throat, because there's other cryptos that we like too. Like I like Ethereum as well, and so I'm basically saying you can pay me with Doge, but not with Ethereum by doing Doge only. So I don't know, went a little too far there, but I did dial it back. So if you want to grab something, Tim, you can. All methods of payment are back up, and I added a couple more cryptocurrencies. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, Litecoin. But yeah, check it out. I just put like four new shirts up, guys. And I won't keep talking about shirts, obviously, but this is one of them. It just says D is for Doge. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Really like basic. Which I think in order to, in my opinion, it's cool to like represent Dogecoin and everything. But when you are wearing something that's like super, super flashy, it can kind of be awkward. That's why I like the more like subtle things. They get the point across, let people know, like represent Dogecoin, and they're like, huh, what is that? What is Doge? D is for Doge. But it's not like, hey, look at me. I've got all these designs all over my shirt type thing. It's just really low key, which is what I like. But anyway. I was contemplating on making a call on bit mining or bit digital. My thoughts? You mean on Bitcoin mining? On mining Bitcoin? Can you explain that a little more for me, Josh? Hey, Scott, what's up? Thank you. I got permanently deleted for a third time in 3 months. It's one a month at this rate, so that's pretty crazy. But we're back. It was just another misunderstanding by YouTube's bots went around, and for some reason they thought something was misleading on my channel, and so they banned it for misleading content. And then they reviewed it, of course, when I appealed, and they're like, oops, sorry, third time, no excuse still. Here you go. Here's your account back. Stankus says, got my second vax shot on Friday and have a toothache. No, but I have not said that word, one new. I haven't said that word, so I'm not even going to try it. But you probably could. Got my second vax shot on Friday, have a toothache this weekend, has been a struggle. Ah, man, that stinks. The second vax shot, man, is a kicker. I'll tell you that. It's definitely, what I did was I got it on Friday. That way I had 2 days to let that thing run its course. And on Sunday, because I got it Friday, Saturday I was fine, just a sore arm. Sunday was a stay-at-home day. Like in the morning, I woke up, I'm like, I feel like I'm kind of getting sick type thing. When you know you're about to get like a cold or a fever, or like it's coming, you just feel that weird feeling like in your head and body. That kind of weakness, and then just as it progressed, just started getting nauseous, a little dizzy, and then it was fever just for the rest of the day. But then come Monday into Tuesday, I was fine. So it really wasn't that bad. But it was a day for sure, like a stay at home, maybe just sleep it off day. It's like if you use the wrong words, it's kind of flag block. Yeah, and I try to be super, super neutral. Like, oh, the company Bit Mining or Bit Digital on the NASDAQ. I think any calls on Bitcoin right now, obviously it's anything with crypto is just inherently risky because the long-term future of it, we just don't know what's going to happen, especially with the Fed coming in and trying to start regulating. That's where things start getting interesting. Now they're talking about the SEC getting involved in crypto and trying to force regulations. Now, with fully decentralized currency and using decentralized like exchanges and stuff, regulation gets tricky because the whole purpose of it is to kind of avoid regulation and just let it be the people's coin to control. But obviously it's the government, and they can kind of figure out ways to do what they want. Even if we do think it's anonymous, like they can always crack down on stuff in some kind of way to get to accomplish their purpose. It might not be direct, but it could be indirect and affect it enough to make it not viable, in my opinion. So for that reason, I would say, that's the risky part, because if they really succeed, they could start kind of killing off crypto to a degree, and we might see things slow down, But on the other hand, obviously Bitcoin mining has been in a bit of a rut due to what's been happening over in China. So I would assume that those things, I haven't looked, but I would assume that those assets or companies are at a dip buy opportunity right now. And if that's the case, then long-term calls are probably a good idea. As long as the Fed thing doesn't really take over. So that's my opinion on it. I would assume it's probably like 70-30 with a 70-ish plus % chance that you would profit off that. I'm far from dead, but not feeling good. Just a mild fever. I feel you, man. Hope you feel better. Yeah, I got the Pfizer too, so I know exactly how you feel, man. Right. Yeah. Kind of like having that mild flu. I agree. Really, it was the reverse for me. One new. First one did absolutely nothing, just a slightly sore arm. Second one, more sore arm. First day, second day fever. Third day felt cool, and then perfectly fine by day 4. So Pfizer actually isn't Myrna. Only the Moderna one is the mRNA, which is why I didn't get that one. Sorry guys, we're not going to talk about vaccines this whole time, obviously, but Pfizer's a standard vaccine where mRNA is the like DNA driven one, the new technology, and that's why I didn't get Moderna's, because I just don't want a new tech in my body. Makes me feel more like a lab rat than I already did. How long is long? Like a foot long or a yard long? Good question. I'm talking more like yard long. Ah, okay. Oh, gosh. Are you serious? Seizures. Yikes. That's concerning. Now, I heard, the Johnson & Johnson did get recalled, so, jeez, man. That's terrible. Hope she's all right. But am I sure? No, absolutely not. I'm not sure. That's just my guess. But, yeah, I have no idea, man. You just asked my opinion. I'm definitely not sure, but that would be my answer. Like, that just seems like that would be the case. If it dropped because of the China situation, I think it's just going to recover once with the clean mining stuff that's happening too, and as Bitcoin's really still at its beginning stage, guys. Keep that in mind. It's really not even widespread accepted yet. There is plenty of room to go on Bitcoin. Like, yes, we got El Salvador legal tender, but everywhere else, it's still like a lot of people don't know what Bitcoin is. A lot of people don't even want Bitcoin. They just don't understand it. Bitcoin is really early stage, even though it's gotten this far. It can easily 10x plus from here short term. Like, I'm talking a year or two. She's doing okay now? Good. Glad to hear that. Chosen says, I'm late. Your channel got deleted? Yes. Yes, it did. Again, third time, man. It got deleted for the third time in 3 months, but it is back up. It was another misunderstanding by YouTube's AI, their algo that goes around and monitors all titles and videos, descriptions, and everything, content for term violations, and they thought I broke one of the terms and conditions, which I did not, of course. What's funny, though, is that there's these big-name YouTubers. Their channels are not getting deleted. And I'm sure there's more infractions there, maybe even unintentional. I'm just ready for the 5G to kick in. Would it be a little grisly of me to buy the dip on Johnson & Johnson in that event? Honestly, I heard that they were coming out with a 2-shot. And if that's the case, I would say, once they get reinstated and then come out with the 2-shot, they might actually have a bit of a spike there. So I'd probably be long on them instead of short. Hey, what's up again, Rick? One day in the future, we might start. Oh man. That I don't like the sound of that one, new. I'll be honest. Navi says YouTube Mafia. What's up, man? True, yeah. Confidence is coming back. I think that the B word event, what it really did more than anything, there was no new announcements per se. It kind of gave people a little boost of confidence, and that's what's important. Yeah, go ahead, Chosen. I'll skim through it. But yeah, the confidence boost from that event, I think, is what's causing this rally. My whole question and concern, though, originally was to come from a spot where we were about to crash yet again, and everybody was waiting for the 25,000 dip, basically. To come from being that bearish to getting an event where it just gives people a little bit of confidence. That's really it. A little bit of assured confidence to then make the price rally on Bitcoin and break through multiple like resistance levels and just go all the way back to a reversal just seemed a little out of place. There was no real reason for it. That being said, we were at a nice dip, so there wasn't too much of a reason not to buy at that point when you're sitting at about 17 cents. But then the question is just, well, yes, but how long does it go up before it potentially comes back down? And that was my main concern, was like, if you didn't get in at the start and you're looking for a buy like 18.5, 19 cents, it's like, well, how much further do you have before Bitcoin gets to the highest potential spot where it's going to reverse on us and go back down? And then maybe you bought the top or very close to it, and you're basically breaking even or kind of ended up in a loss situation. And that's why it was just a little, I couldn't recommend to buy or sell. Because remember here, we're talking about the normally bearish pattern of the ascending wedge. And like I said, it ignored the bearish ascending wedge and the clear head and shoulders that formed right there and just took off. Okay, so this was emotionally driven buy action. And that's what happens sometimes when you get good news, patterns get ignored and the price goes up. Oh yeah, drop it in the Discord if you're in there. Or just tell me, just type it in here without saying like .com, and I'll just copy and paste in that .com. And here we go again, right? So here's a bit of a head and shoulders forming again, but at this point, it looks like it still wants to go up. So, I mean, this is a very obviously emotionally driven move. And we'll see if it does go up here, but I don't know. It's just very strange. It just really doesn't make sense. So my only guess would be that there's like some larger money kind of buying in here, moving the price up as we go. Maybe some whales are gradually getting their size back. Because we're not really following patterns anymore. And that's when you know things are weird. Now let's kind of transition into some of the technical analysis, guys. But again, thank you for supporting that store. If you haven't already checked it out, just go ahead and type it in your search. It's My Hodlware. You can just Google search My Hodlware. And I just put a lot of new stuff up today, including the shirt that I just made. So it's pretty cool. And if there's something on there that you want that's not there, a size, a color, or whatever, or design even, if you want it somewhat customized beyond what's there, let me know and I'll figure it out. Thank you, guys. But yeah, let's roll into the TA here. Bitcoin's at 34,000, about $600 here. That's actually pretty impressive considering where we came from. We ended up making like a triple bottom here on the longer term time frame, 1, 2, 3. And so a bounce from here was to be expected, but what we did for the first time in a long time was we actually broke above the descending triangle. And during the stream that we had on, what was it, Thursday or Friday, I said what was really unlikely was for us to actually break above the descending triangle because of a few things. And that if it did, then we could take a look. Sorry, Sadhu says, how does the shipping work to the UK? So it's international shipping. Obviously, the cost is going to be a little bit higher. But yeah, just check it out and let me know what you see. I can ship to the UK, but the shipping charge obviously will be a little higher than just in the US. Okay, I'll check that out, Chosen. And so what we ended up having here was, as you can see, this descending little triangle here. Look here as the support and look here as the descending trend line on the top. We kept bouncing kind of, as you can see, just, yeah, we hit it a couple times here, but overall we kept trying to get to it and just rejecting off of it and getting sandwiched down towards the end here. Now, I did not think we were going to break through this, because the only time we broke through this ever was right here off really good news from, and here's the other thing, was from really good news from Elon Musk that made people get all this hope. And so we saw this massive two-step rally where then it peaked above, looked strong, and then hit the key level and started a crash stronger than any crash we had yet seen, except from the starting one. So we went from 30,000, 31,000, up to 41,000, and then all the way down to 28,000. Absolute massive move in both directions. Then here we go again, la 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 la, right? And we get here again at this almost new low. We do a two-step move up. Now here, what I was surprised about and why I didn't think we were going to get even as high as we are, and obviously I was wrong about that, was because we had multiple bearish patterns forming and everything indicated it would not happen unless for some reason people's emotions kicked in and everybody just felt like now's the time to buy. This is the reversal. Because at that point, no one's caring about patterns. It's emotionally driven buying. And so all that goes out the window. So what ends up happening here, you get this ascending wedge, which everyone should know by now is typically a bearish pattern. What ends up happening, you get the support line coming up at a steeper angle than the resistance line is going up. While they're both going up at the same time, you're getting like this convergence, like that. And usually you get like weak volume towards the top here, and then it just falls out the bottom. Instead, got a bearish pattern, broke out the top. Shorter time frame, also a head and shoulders, still broke out the top. So that was like, wow, number one. Now, number two was the 33,000 level support, which was also extremely strong. We also broke through that at the same time. So we broke through two levels at once. Impressive, if I do say so myself. Then after that, it's like, all right, so we broke through that. But now we've got another major roadblock, and actually two major roadblocks coming up now. So we surely won't get past that, right? Because the B-word event wasn't good enough to get us all the way that far. And what was that? The 200 EMA that was coming down that we've always, had trouble with. Look at this. How many times have we really passed the 200 EMA? Not really any since... Okay. Not really any since we first crashed. Whoa. Took me all the way back to 1900s there. All right, so we've got the 200 EMA, and then we've also got the descending trend line that we also hadn't broken. What happens? Well, we break both of those as well. So everything just went out the window there. That made sense. And instead, Bitcoin decided to just rally. So obviously this is more of an emotional move as things are happening that don't quite technically make sense. Now, I will say this again, as we can see that we kind of made a head and shoulders here, and it still looks like it wants to go up on the most bearish reversal pattern that exists. So there's that. Now, it did not pull back yet again, so it's not a finished head and shoulders, but it's pretty stinking close. This should be the top of the shoulder here, but it looks like it wants to just keep going. So technicals, obviously, at this point, are a little less relevant than just understanding how people feel and what they're doing and why. So apparently that news from the event and shortly thereafter and all the stuff that's going on positively in the crypto space now is enough to get people... No, it definitely wasn't around in the 1900s. Is enough to get people going. So that's all that matters now. Now the question still is, how long does this go on? Does this go well above 35, back up to 40, and then start looking to go back into 50,000s Bitcoin? Or does this stall out at some time soon? And then what happens next? I'm just going to say, my guess is that we don't keep going up. And if we do, cool. Good for Bitcoin, good for the crypto market. Most people here already have a position, so it really truly doesn't matter which direction it goes in, because you're going to figure out how to make money either way, in the same way that I am. As long as you are holding some Dogecoin, whether that's 50% of your position size right now, 75%, whatever. As long as you're in to some degree already, it doesn't, like, this part doesn't really matter. just kind of ride the wave of unpredictability and watch this play out. If you want to at some point sell and lock something in, that's going to be your call. If you want to just ride it out and see how far it goes and just ride, stick in it, that's fine too. Now, here's what I will say. A little thing to note is last time we got an Elon driven hype event, the same thing happened and it was not sustained. So this is what I'm talking about. This move right here, this move right here. So as you can see, we've done this already. The last time, this move right here was when Elon Musk said, we'll take Bitcoin back. It's looking good. So when Bitcoin hits 50%, we'll take it back as payment. You saw this massive rally. First time that we broke above the descending trend line and the 200 EMA. Went up there, looked kind of strong at resistance, and then crashed harder than it ever had. And now we are back in that same exact situation. Again, coming from one of the lowest lows. Elon Musk gives some hope, says, hey, yeah, it's looking good. I think we're getting pretty close. You get the two-stage move up, the same break above the descending trend line, same break above the 200 EMA, and now we're at the decision-making resistance line. Before, it was this to see if we were going to break out for good. Now it's this to see if we're going to get back into territory where we could then consider breaking out for good. If we reject here, I think this same exact kind of idea could play out next, where all of this hype came and everybody realizes, oh, it's not actually reversing for good here. Actually, we're not even getting back up to like 36 to 40,000 range here. I better lock in the profits that I just made from buying this dip or this dip and cut it here and see what's going to happen next. And so then you see the same thing that kind of happened here. You come back, get stuck under the 200 EMA, fail back under the descending trend line, and then start making a real move down here. And then possibly doing what it did here and making a new low. So at that point, that could then be when the real market crash happens and gets us back to about 25,000 on Bitcoin. Because a fail here and a break back under the descending trend line would signify extreme weakness, and still indicating, just like here, it had been a month. Don't forget, a month of impatient people wondering, like, is this the dip? Is this the dip? Is this the dip? Like, where's the bottom? Where's the bottom? And this time they thought it was it. Everybody bought in and it failed, and everybody sold because there's like, man, this is really not it. Forget it. I'm just going to take profit and we're just going to wait till this thing finishes crashing and then buy. This is like a little mini part 2 to that. We had our second wind of hope from Elon Musk, and if it doesn't get back to a breakout trajectory here, people are going to lose faith all over again and say, all right, well, I guess that wasn't enough for us. We probably still need to get to 25,000 first. And so then you start seeing the sell-off. That sell-off gets confirmed as we go back below the 200 trend line here in the 200 EMA, and then we see the bearish continuation. That is my honest personal guess. I would bet on that, if anything. But like I said, if it goes up and cool. Here's another reason I feel the way I do, and I feel overall bearish, and I would love to flip to bullish, guys. I really would. But just no long term. Obviously, I'm very bullish, and I think Doge will get to $1 still by the end of the year. I think it's very possible, or close to it. Just depends on what Elon does. It's up to him. We're moving at his desired rate of speed, whatever he wants that to be. But here's another reason why I think that we may end up going down, and that's that it looks like the rest of the market is not convinced that this is a long-term reversal right here. Why do I say that? Well, I've always said that one of the key ways you can determine how the market feels is by looking at the moves of the market leader and then compare that to the movement of the altcoins and how they follow it. Usually the altcoins, obviously they're lower market cap, they're easier to move, and so they're much more volatile than the big heavy dog. Think of it like a small car and how easy it is to maneuver that. A sports car, maybe, for example, you can whip it around, you can go fast, you can stop fast, you can turn fast, versus a train, right? And that's kind of the difference between absolutely massive market cap Bitcoin versus the little altcoin cars and vehicles. And so the big strong guy here is doing its big, strong move up here. And usually when the other guys get excited, they end up taking off. And sometimes they even move at like 2 or 3 times the rate that Bitcoin does in a given direction. They have more volatility. But as you can see here, Bitcoin did this massive move from 29,000 all the way up to almost 35 here, which is crazy. But now let's compare that to an altcoin like Dogecoin. Dogecoin is still stuck at 19 cents. Isn't that interesting? On the day of the event, for example, let's just take a look at, well, here's what I want to do. Let's side by side them. That's not Bitcoin, is it? No. Let's side by side them here and do a quick comparison of the price action. And let's see, this was 7/20/10/05. This is 7/20/10/05. There we go. Let's see. This is 7/17. This is 7/17. I'm trying to get something to compare to. Hang on just a second here. So, let's see. 7/14/33. There we go. Yeah. 20/33. Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that. Okay. So on like right before the event, so 7/20, guys, this was 5 days ago. Bitcoin was at almost a brand new low at 29,000. Dogecoin was at 16 cents, which was also a brand new low. All right, 16.01. 0.1601 rather. As Bitcoin has had this massive rally all the way back up to 35,000, Dogecoin sits here, as you can see, in a much more weak scenario. It's not pushing 20 or higher. In fact, it's sitting at 19.5. Why is that? Now, if you look back to the last time Dogecoin was anywhere near 20 cents, was kind of like right here. Let's just say 7/14, because these look kind of like little weird spikes, so we won't consider those. But look here, 7/14, Dogecoin was at over 20 cents, 20.5 cents. That was when Bitcoin was at about 33,000. Now Bitcoin's $2,000 up and Dogecoin's lower. So Bitcoin was $2,000 less when Dogecoin was 1 cent higher 5 days ago. So you can see the difference here. Now we're moving and we're way higher on Bitcoin and Dogecoin is lower. In fact, the price we're at right now should be what we're at when Bitcoin is at almost, not even at yet, but almost 33,000. So still in the 32,000s. But now Bitcoin's at almost 35 and Doge is still at 19.5. So that tells you altcoin market, or the market in general, not convinced that the Bitcoin movement is a real reversal and going to continue, because they're not buying into their altcoins yet. There's bearishness in the alts. That's what typically happens when people aren't feeling it. And you can go further back and you can find more examples, but it kind of just gets worse and worse until you had those little hype spikes. It's not good. So overall, and I mean, you could just compare the move here. You can take the indicators off the chart and whatnot. You can just look at the move here. I mean, it's just not the same. Look here, just a single move where this one was a double move. You see that Dogecoin stayed here. It wasn't convinced. It didn't follow this move up. That's usually not a good sign. So let's replace a Dogecoin with Ethereum, who honestly, in my opinion, got kind of better news than Doge did. And you can see that Ethereum had a bit of a stronger move, so that is good. And it followed Bitcoin a bit more. But in my opinion, Ethereum still didn't get to where it needed to go. And let's just take an example for that. Let's see. 7/11, 2100, 7/11. It's actually pretty close. It's doing way better than Doge's as far as being where it should be. Except for that. So if you look here, 35,000-ish Bitcoin was Ethereum about 2,400 here. and now 35,000 Bitcoin is, $300 less on Ethereum. So the altcoins, even though Ethereum is doing better than Doge, it's still not doing as good as it should be doing if it was to be following Bitcoin's lead. So there's still some uncertainty. Now, what does that mean? Well, what we always talk about is the altcoins, though there could be uncertainty in the market, they do catch up. It just does not happen at the same rate. And so what you'll end up seeing, once we get some good confirmation from Bitcoin that this is not a fake out and it is really ready to take off a bit, the altcoins and the buyers are like, oh, this is it. Then everyone starts to pile into the alts at one time, and you see this slingshot move where it just rockets off out of nowhere. You start seeing these massive green candles, and then it starts to catch back up to where it should be. We've seen it on stream quite a few times already, so you should not be surprised when it happens again. I think that will happen if Bitcoin breaks above 35,000 and starts looking comfortable between the 35 to 36 range. Then we'll start to see Dogecoin do like a massive multiple cent spike, where maybe we just jump to like 22 cents out of nowhere, from like 19.5 to like 22 or 23 cents, pretty quick. As people gain confidence, and then they all start buying in, and we see the volatility kick in. That goes for Dogecoin, and that goes for Ethereum. So that's my guess there. But at the same time, remember what happened last time? And this is why we saw Dogecoin go so low last time. This here was this move here. This was this. Wasn't it? No, this was this. 615. On this last move up, last time Elon gave Bitcoin some hope, Bitcoin did this massive move. The altcoin market, the market in general, was not convinced that that was going to be the actual breakout move. And so on the move up, they didn't actually buy in very much. You can just compare this or this part to this. Very weak. When Bitcoin failed as they expected, because these guys didn't move up, all they had left was to follow it still on the way down. And so they were like, yeah, not buying it. But they did follow the crash portion. And that's when we made all, brand new lows. If that happens again, we see brand new lows on Dogecoin, because we're doing the same thing all over again. Bitcoin's rallying really massively off of good news from Elon again. Altcoin market, yet again, isn't following because they don't believe it. If this is a fake out and comes back down and crashes, these guys are going to be crashing instead of from up here. Like if they were following Bitcoin, they're going to be crashing the same distance, but from here. And so you're going to see it go even lower than it would have if it had followed Bitcoin up first before it dropped. Because it's going to drop the same amount it would have either way, as it follows Bitcoin one for one down. So that's not good. So basically, hope Bitcoin does recover here, unless you want to start looking for like a 10-cent dip. Because if this fails and makes new lows, that's about where we're going to be, 10 to 12. Because we're not following it up like we need to right now. All right, I'll read some comments now. Fumble Stillskins. Let me know how the shipping works, Sidhu. If there's some portion of the shipping I can pay for you, I will. Or I'll figure out how maybe we can get it cheaper or something. That's what I've been doing, by the way, guys. The shipping rate that you see when you check out isn't actually what the shipping is. I do pay a portion of it. I made it cheaper because I know most people want free shipping. I can't quite pay the whole thing, or else I wouldn't I'd be losing money selling shirts. But I am paying like half of it for you. Michael says, can I put my Kindle website up? What is it? You have one pup left? Oh. It says top secret Amazon crypto plan in the title. Okay. Let's take a look at that in just a moment. Oh, don't read comments. I went on the rant. Oh, too late. All charts are almost out of the door. It's all emotional driven right now in a world where one rich man moves the entire market. It might be good for us, but it's not good. I agree with you. It's a bit much, and Elon Musk really shouldn't have that much control over Bitcoin. I mean, it's like $1 trillion market cap project, and he sends out 2 tweets and market moves all over the place. It's crazy. Yes, Dogecoin sauce. Thank you for reminding me. Let's talk about that too. Make sure you short credit card companies after Amazon gets Dogecoin transactions. That's a good call. Honestly, shorting them anytime soon is probably a good idea for a long-term like option play. Because, well, maybe not. We got to see what the Fed does first. XXL. I've got 2XL coming. They'll be here tomorrow. So let me know like what shirt you want, in what color, and which like size. And I will make sure that I have that. I've got some coming tomorrow, and then I've got even more coming Tuesday. So just let me know what you want, man. I'll get it for you. The thing is, like, having to have inventory first for every potential scenario gets real expensive. So I was kind of trying to like order as I sold, but that doesn't work either. So I just got to drop the bag and hope it pays off. Sorry, looking at bigger picture. Oh, I didn't read your other thing. It's why every world currency collapses eventually. It has its day and it's gone. US has an army, so it's taken a bit longer. If you think about it, we can't continue in this way. Growth can't always be a thing. We're using limited resources and thinking we keep growing. That's kind of crazy. The point you're making is crypto wasn't about really making a profit. It was to take power back. Right. They will fight against that to the death, and sadly we will lose in the end. That's been my concern too, and that's why I've been saying, like, I'm not saying I am long-term bullish on cryptocurrency's future 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years out. Because the thing is, we just don't know, and that's why people, when they ask me and they want a serious answer and they're like, what do you think Dogecoin's going to be in 12 months? I'm just like, Dogecoin might not exist in 12 months. So let's be honest here. Cryptocurrency has lasted for as long as it has, but it also hasn't been in the public eye like it has this year, ever. Not ever. Has anybody cared about cryptocurrency as much as they do now? Nor has the government really been talking about cryptocurrency, unless you're China and you just hate it, right? Our government didn't care. It really, I mean, it was such a niche thing. Now crypto is starting to take over. It's starting to disrupt the financial system. It's starting to, it's positioning itself to replace major banks and corporations and stuff. And that's where big money starts getting affected. And that's where the government starts coming in. When big money starts becoming the topic of discussion. So, hey, make sure you drop the website, Michael, without the .com, because it won't show any links. Not in my control. It's just YouTube blocks that. So that's the thing. Like, we don't know now that crypto's in the public eye and the government's starting to talk about it now, and they're starting to talk about regulating the thing and coming out with their own versions of it. We don't know what's going to happen 12 months from now. That's why I'm trying to get into plays that I know are relatively safe, because it's crypto. It's not the stock. If you want safe, go into the stock market and invest in an ETF. Don't ever touch it again, and see 8% gains for the next 10 years. Come back later and your $1,000 might be like $1,800. Cool. Right? If you want actual gains though, that's where you start taking some kind of risk for a much, much, much larger reward. And I'm not talking about gambling. I'm talking like 90-10% or 80-20 or even 70-30. Like very high odds strategic investing. That is just a bit riskier. But that will pay off a lot more if you do it the right way. But my plays are not like 2 to 5 year plays. My plays, I don't know if you've noticed, all the things I talk about, they are relatively short term, and they are within the next couple months. Even ETH2, which is one of my, you could say my biggest plays, that's supposed to be early next year. If you're talking a year, 2, 3 years out, who knows what the government will have done by then that could manipulate the price of crypto and the value of it. If they've made it unbearable to use, figuring out some kind of things to tax people into oblivion for using it, like, people aren't going to try to use it anymore if the pros no longer outweigh the cons of using fiat currency and they just want to go back to normal. Then it's back to the drawing board for crypto, and crypto might still exist, but the worth of it could be cut in half, could be cut into a fourth. Bitcoin could be trading at $5,000 again. Still has its use case, but just not ideal. Who knows? My plays, Dogecoin, that's a by the end of the year maybe into like January, February if things really delay play. And if it's not fulfilled by then, we'll probably be on to the next thing, honestly. Because that means Elon didn't follow through and we've reached our peak, which could be like 60 cents or something. And then it's like, okay, what's next? Or Ethereum, you know, that's supposed to be early next year. And then you've got plenty of other cryptos as well. So, yeah. I'm mad in a way because I was into this when it was about the idea. Now it's all about the same options, shorts, etc. We took on the bad. Yeah. Yep. No, you're right. Taking on all the bad. Now we're getting big money in, market manipulation, shorting options. It is turning into the same thing. And that means the SEC probably is going to do their best to get their hands on it and protect the people. Really, they're trying to protect the money. I don't think they really want people figuring out ways to get rich fast, because that just messes with the worth of a dollar if everybody can make one. Very easy. Who do I think has more potential 3x sooner, Doge or Amp? Ooh. There's a question. That's a good question, James. 88. 008. Here's the thing. They coded Amp. You know how Bitcoin, it's in Bitcoin's code and its programming to be relatively stable and to do a certain thing as time goes on? The way that they tried to create Amp was for it to be differently set up than a lot of the other altcoins, to where the volatility on Amp is greatly reduced, which is why you also don't see Amp running like all over the place, ups and downs when the market goes up and down. It's pretty stable, and they wanted it to not be volatile for its purpose, to serve its purpose. But the way that they set it up was that Amp coin gets an increase in value when it's used. So the more people that use it and adopt it and integrate it into their like payment systems, the more that network is used, the more that Amp coin's value increases. So that's Amp's catalyst. So the question is, do I think Doge will 3x in price by the time that Amp gets enough use to 3x in price? And my answer is yes. I think Doge will 3x faster, because Doge 3xing could happen within the next 2 months pretty easily. We're under 20 cents, which means we'd have to get to about 58 cents to have 3x from current price, and that's really not that far off. If Bitcoin gets a good announcement and pulls the market back up, we're going to be right about 2.5x at that point, like almost instantly. So 3x is only going to be a couple cents away. We're pumping? On what? Is Trading View frozen again? I mean, Webull. Okay, there we go. I mean, we moved like 1/100th of a cent. Oh, there it is. That was weird. Didn't show up. Weird. But anyway, once Bitcoin recovers after the Elon thing happens, to where he takes Bitcoin back for payment, the market will recover, start heading back up. Dogecoin will be like back to 40, 45, 50 cents. And then what you're going to end up, then we'll only be 8 cents away from 3x from where we currently are. That's going to be very easy to accomplish. Amp has to get 3 times the use that it currently has. That's also not that hard to accomplish, but it's like, does Bitcoin get its announcement before Amp gets its big announcements? And I think Amp coin's probably more of like a 3 to 6 month play for 3x, whereas Dogecoin's more of a like 2 to 3 month. That's just my guess. Out of curiosity, why do I not like to use TradingView? Webull, for me, I mean, the user interface is just easier to use. What's up with AMP? Went from 0.480 in the morning to almost 50% gain. It could be getting more locations using it. That's AMP's catalyst. I didn't see the announcement today, but let's just check. Like I said, the more people that use AMP, that's how the price goes up. So let's just check it out. AMP. Okay, so this is why. Found it. Rumor is Amazon is going to accept crypto in Q3. Now, I don't know if you heard, but yesterday there was a rumor that started floating around that Amazon had just hired someone like a lead financial person for cryptocurrency. You know, when these companies start hiring like crypto advisors, it's so that they can it near doubled. You know, when companies start hiring crypto advisors, what that means is that they're trying to figure out how they can integrate crypto payments into their platform, or how they can do their own version of crypto. If you're doing your own cryptocurrency, though, it's highly likely you're also integrating other crypto as well, because just the interchangeability, I mean, it just kind of goes hand in hand. Crypto's like a space, right? So anyway, it's like being an app. There's an app store. But anyway, rumor is inside information from higher ups claim that they're going to work with two coins. Amp coin, they're going to use that for digital payment, and then Algorand smart contract for the smart contract side of things. And then of course, I don't know if you know about Flexa, but Amp is amazing. That's my secondary investment, in my opinion. It's number one. Dogecoin number 1B is going to be AMP right now, and then number 3 is Ethereum, and then to each their own on a layer 2 solution for Ethereum or something like that, or a competing blockchain. You know, depends on what you want to get into, but But that's the catalyst, so that's why it went up 50%, because this news started spreading here. Now, if this is true, AMP coin is probably going to like 10x pretty fast, because like I said, the coin's value increases with use, adoption, and then the use. The more that people are using it, the more transaction fees that get accrued and get paid out to the AMP token holders that are staking their AMP to provide that collateral. And so the more that it's being used, let's just say that Amazon starts using it to accept all crypto payments. If Amazon starts using AMP as the intermediary between you being the consumer, the customer, and them as the receiver, and so all crypto transactions funnel through AMP, all those transaction fees are getting accrued and getting paid out to the AMP token holders that are staked into the AMP network to get their portion of the fees, which obviously just means they're going to be making a heck of a lot more money if Amazon takes that, and because Amazon is the biggest online retailer like in the world, obviously. So they're going to be making a lot of money. And so the reason the price of the coin goes up is because then it becomes more valuable to hold AMP token and stake it, because then, you know, the demand to do that and potentially make money goes up with Amazon accepting and integrating AMP, because everybody's going to make more money from holding AMP token. Hopefully you can see how that circle works. And that's how AMP token's price goes up. So this announcement will single-handedly like make AMP probably near top market cap coin, top 5. If that plays out. AMP is definitely something I would be invested in. I would honestly, I don't know. To me, AMP is almost a little more interesting than Dogecoin is, because we know like the time frame on, like, it just seems like the time frame on Bitcoin and Ethereum's big pop off is like a month and a half, 2 months, Where Amp, it's like, when do they get an announcement that that could be massive? And just download the Spedin app, SPEDN. Download that app and check it out. It's pretty neat. And let me know if you guys need me to explain what Amp does, because the whole concept behind Amp is very important. FPF says, wait, I missed this. Why would Amp be chosen for Amazon? Well, that gets into what Amp is. Do you know what Amp does? And the thing is, it's really the only it's one of the few things of its kind. It's another thing like Dogecoin that in its space has very little competition, and at the very least, the competition is just not as well known. And so that's really where the problem comes for the competition. If you're not known without a community, you are in the background. A couple comments I missed. Oh, guys, so real quick, while you guys are contemplating whether or not I need to discuss what Altcoin does or not, I wanted to talk about something, and hopefully you guys can help me out here with this, and that's Doge sauce, the Dogecoin sauce. Okay, so in the same way that we did the whole Axe thing, Dogecan hype, and all of that, we've got a new project. If any of you guys have Twitter, go ahead, fire it up right now. And I've got a task for you, if you don't mind. So what I'll do is go to my profile so I can find this a bit faster. And go to this account, Mr. Singh Sauce, SINGH. Go to their account, and as you see, there is now a project where if they get 500 retweets, they're going to create a sauce. If they get 500 retweets on one of these posts here, and I'll show you which post, they're going to make a Dogecoin themed sauce and help spread Dogecoin awareness, which of course could be really big. And let's see. And they've agreed to do it. Flexa network is it part of Amp? Well, Amp is part of Flexa. Correct. They're the same thing. Just promise us or your yes, you will not do an upshot on us all. I don't think you will, even if you are about money. I know you are not that. My instincts are okay there. Yeah, man, I'm not doing... Nah, I would not. I consider myself an honest person, first of all. Second of all, I'm all about, like, figuring out ways to make money. But that's via my hard work. It's not by taking other people's money and abandoning them. That's not how that works. If I become financially successful, it's because I worked hard for it and I grinded. And that's the way I roll. Even as I try to help support my streaming by selling merch, I mean, it's work. I design all the stuff myself. I make all the shirts myself. It is extremely high quality fabric. Like, I took days researching every single clothing brand out there that provides blank shirts to find which ones were the absolute best, and took like 3 days nonstop of like doing research, reading articles. And then I also spent an absurd amount of money on buying from 2 different brands that I couldn't tell which one was better, buying each one of their products to see which one was the best in black and in white. And who knows how long it'll take for me to make that money back. But the goal was to have the perfect product at the end of the day, one that I could stand behind, and one that, like, you guys will buy it, you'll wear it, and be like, ah, maybe I want another one of these. And that's how I roll. Hard work, dedication, investment equals success. Not... And that's, I mean, even in my investment strategies, like which ones are get rich quick. You know, I don't look at the garbage coins, the to the moon coins, all safe, sound investments. There is some risk, but it's all strategic. I like to work for my money and my success. But anyway, So here's the tweet. Just found it after a lot of scrolling. Right here it says 500 retweets and Dogecoin fire sauce comes to life. So go ahead and find this tweet on Mr. Sing Sauce, at Mr. Sing Sauce with an H at the end. Mr. Sing H Sauce. Find them and click that retweet button. They're at 113 retweets. I retweeted when it was like at 8. This thing's really catching on. Help them get to 500. We've got 30 people here. You guys could really help contribute to that. What I'll do is I will, if you just find me on Twitter, I'll quote tweet it right now so it'll just be easy to find. Actually, let me just retweet it again. There we go. So it should be at the top of my profile. Thank you, Wando. I appreciate that. Really do. So yeah, go check them out. And let's try and help them out and see if we can get a Dogecoin fire sauce going. That'd be awesome. All right, I missed some comments here, so let me scroll back. You bought in at about 20 cents, and if it gets back to that, you're selling everything. Why is that, Marvin? You're just going to sell because you think it's going to crash again? Yeah, if you bought at 20, that's a bit unfortunate, I will say. They hit 100 on Dogecoin sauce, woohoo. Yes, 113 now. What do I think this... Hey, Sidhu, what shirt were you looking at for XXL? Just tell me which one so I can make sure that's added. Because you can technically order it now and it'll be shipped out tomorrow. What do I think this coming event on 28th will do to Dogecoin? I think we could see a nice little rally. Yeah, Spending App, James. That's the one. That runs off Flexa Network, and you can give it a try and see how it works. It's pretty neat. What it allows you to do is use any cryptocurrency in stores. Any place that accepts that Flexa Network for payment, you can pay with your cryptocurrency of choice. Oh, the artful one? Okay. The black D? Okay, got it. What do I think? Yeah, I think we could see a nice rally on Dogecoin. It really depends on what Vitalik says and if there's any promises of like something to come next. That could be big. And I will be live streaming that, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subbed, because I will be live covering it. So if you want to see that, click the button. I bought in... Oh, yeah, I read that. Let's get to $1 quickly, then sell. I'd be fine with that. Don't take my word for it. Go look at what happened when the banks made financial products, took our money away from us. That's the issue. We're falling into the same pattern. Very well could be. Why don't I like to use TradingView? It's just Webull does the job for me, and it just seems a bit simpler. I really like simplicity. I like good user interface and simplicity with the nice flavor of customizability on top. Webull's that perfect blend for me. TradingView, it has obviously more functionality, but it does more than I need. It's a little over-featured for what I do. I use a couple indicators, and I look at a couple things. So that's really all I needed to do. Now, I pay per month for TradingView just to have it, but I don't actually love it. What's up with Amp? Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Sorry. Remember when you could swap $1 coin for gold? Why was that good? They couldn't manufacture debt. Now you don't know. It's crazy. That's why you think Bitcoin was created. It wasn't supposed to go back to that. If, of course, that hasn't happened. Solana. I feel like Solana would be it. I mean, think about how many transactions does Amazon do daily, and Solana's the only blockchain that can come near to that transaction. True. But the thing is, Altcoin is not like a blockchain competitor. I'll explain what Amp does in just a moment. I heard Amazon will start with Bitcoin, then use the top 10 from another YouTuber. Now, accepting Bitcoin is a pretty safe bet if you're going to go into crypto, so I don't blame them. But obviously, that's not going to work long term. They're going to have to, if they want more buyers, they're going to have to open it up beyond that. In my opinion, spending Bitcoin is pretty dumb. So I don't get why people want to pay with Bitcoin. It's pretty dumb. Like, it's an extreme deflationary asset, that it's like selling. You know how people will buy collection vehicles that they know are going to become classics one day or increase in value drastically over time? So for example, I go and I buy like the new Ford GT. It's a collector's item. I can probably sell it in a couple years for more than I bought it for. It's like selling that vehicle now instead of waiting. If anything, I should be trying to find things to sell if I want money, things that aren't going to increase in value over time. So spending my Bitcoin, substantial amounts of it at least, just seems counterintuitive. Dogecoin, on the other hand, it's meant to be spent, and it's cheap enough that you can always like throw more cash into it to replenish that. But I just don't know why you would want to spend like Bitcoin consistently. That should be your savings account. Yeah, fair. No, I understand. I'll explain what that means, FPF. I got behind on comments, so let me just catch up real quick. Yes, what does AMP do? Okay. A guy taking a walk. Yeah, true. Good point, Josh. But I appreciate that one new. Matte Black Doge on black. Okay. What is on the 28th? So on the 28th, there's going to be an event where Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, the guy that leads the whole project, he's going to be talking with some of the Dogecoin devs, and they're going to be discussing like a Dogecoin Ethereum merge, you could say, where there would be a bridge from Dogecoin to Ethereum, and that could mean a lot of good things for Dogecoin. Access to integration into smart contracts, access to the decentralized exchange, which means easier tradability, a ton of different good things. Now, in my opinion, there's a ton of bad things too that come with it. Like you'd have to figure out how to get around the mining and gas fees, and making sure transaction fees stay low at scale, making sure that the coin is still easy to accept, spend, and accept natively without having to exchange it back to ETH before you send it to someone or take it. Because that's one of the main things I don't like about a lot of the coins right now, is to send it across network from wallet to wallet. Sometimes you're expected to transfer it to ETH first, and I think that's really dumb. That's not going to be the move for Doge. We want to pay natively in that coin. So that's going to be happening July 28th. I forget the time, but if someone has it, shoot that to me. But I'll probably check it after the stream so I can let you guys know for sure tomorrow. And what's up on that? Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. Let's see. Okay, so, guys, can you give me like 2 minutes? Like less than 2 minutes, and then we'll continue. I'll then get right into explaining the Flexa Amp and why that's important. All right, so just give me literally like 2 minutes. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being patient. I put some money in Cardano. What do I think? Cardano is really nice. Cardano is giving Ethereum a run for its money. So I think at least short term, Cardano is probably still a good investment. Just like Dogecoin is, just like anything that's down at a dip right now. I mean, when Bitcoin recovers, they're all going to go up. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're in something high market cap that's at a similar dip to the rest of the market, it's kind of a good investment. As long as it is a program that makes sense. Because what's going to happen is, regardless of the long-term success, all you have to do is get into something and ride the Bitcoin recovery wave, and then you profit. So there's that. Now, long-term, you're just going to have to see how Cardano competes against ETH2. That's the question. So yeah, if Ethereum manages it, it will be the leader. Bitcoin will be second. To be fair, it's only because it was the first. There's nothing special about it. You can fork the code base and release. No, absolutely. That's what I've been saying, Wonu. It's the same as Bitcoin. Yeah, Dogecoin was created off Bitcoin's code. It's really like basically what they said is they basically copied Bitcoin's code, changed some of the words around to Dogecoin, and then created it, and then they bridged it onto Litecoin's blockchain instead. That's really the only thing about Doge. It really doesn't do anything crazy special. It is just the coin that fundamentally is decent out of the gate, and it's the one we chose. There's updates to make it fundamentally good to great, but there can still be competition down the line. I think the fact that it's like Doge on it in its own lane is a buy for me. Yeah, it is a safe bet, exactly. Interesting, Wonu. I think there's a layer 2 solution for Cardano though that's coming to let you type in a different coding language in the same way that ETH has that, whatever it's called. Maybe not though. Maybe that was something else. Exactly, Jen. Good question. That's what we were talking about earlier. When that happens, that's usually because there's fear in the market. Usually when you see Bitcoin running up and the other altcoins are not following the movement, that's because they don't believe that it's going to continue, and they're expecting a reversal. When it does, and there's bearishness. When Bitcoin then confirms, let's just say it tries to get and break through 35,000 here, but instead it bounces off and starts to tank. And you can see right here, 34.8, that could be considered the rejection. Maybe it tries it one more time, fails. If it fails, then the markets will crash down with Bitcoin on the way down, and you'll start seeing lower lows and new lows even. So not a great sign, but potential for dip. I wish I could buy ETH. Yeah, I'm gonna make more research on AMP. Yeah, really look up AMP, guys. But I'll go ahead and take a moment and explain what the purpose of AMP is. So basically, the Flexa network, which is what AMP runs on, the AMP is the coin for the Flexa network. In the same way that ETH is the coin on Ethereum and ADA is the coin for Cardano. So AMP is the coin for Flexa. And the thing about AMP, the program, the Flexa network, what does it do? So think about this. And I'll pause the music really quick. Let's say you want to make a transaction somewhere. So let's just say you have Bitcoin, for example, or Ethereum, and you want to go and spend your Bitcoin at your local grocery store, your local supermarket, whichever one that is that you go to near you. You want to go to check out. You've got a cart full of groceries, and they say, all right, your total is going to be $120 and 53 cents. You don't want to pay with debit or credit. You want to pay with crypto, and specifically, you want to pay with Bitcoin. So you go ahead, you start trying to pay with Bitcoin. Now, there's a few problems as you get to the point where you start paying with your cryptocurrency. Let's just say they happen to accept Bitcoin as payment. They'll take it, right? They've said they like Bitcoin, and they'll take it instead of cash. Now you have the problem of, all right, well, how do I get Bitcoin over to them? maybe I'll just like send it wallet to wallet or whatever I have to do there across Bitcoin's network. So you go ahead, you start trying to initiate that transaction. The problem with Bitcoin is blockchain tends to be very like the transactions, like the block size and the block speed and the rate at which mining is done and everything, and transactions are verified. All of that happens at a set rate, and that set rate is not very fast. So as you, let's just say, sometimes transaction fees or transaction times, they can be up to 20 minutes sometimes before you get full clearance from all of the validators saying that, or all of the miners verifying the security of the transaction and kind of giving the thumbs up of approval from all the different validators or miners that were taking note of your transaction to make sure it was legitimate. So up to 20 minutes. So for example, when you use your credit card and you have let's just say you have one of those chip cards and you put it into the chip card reader, we already know that takes kind of annoyingly long sometimes to read the chip, validate the security and everything. The normal swipe, let's just say that sometimes took like 2 seconds. Inserting your chip can sometimes take anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. Paying with Bitcoin, with the speed of the network and having to get all the validations, the rate at which that's done, sometimes it can take not 2 seconds, not 5 to 10 seconds, but up to 20 minutes. So there's your problem. And there's why paying for Bitcoin natively in store doesn't work, because you would be standing at the checkout line for about 15 to 20 minutes waiting for the credit card reader or whatever to give you the approved. And imagine the line that starts to form as you hold up 20 minutes of traffic just so that you can pay with Bitcoin. And your thing is still spinning there for 20 minutes waiting for validation back from the miners in the network. That doesn't work now, does it? So, and that goes for any other cryptocurrency. There's plenty of cryptocurrencies that people hold. There's plenty of them that have value that people would love to spend in exchange for goods or services. But fundamentally, a lot of those cryptocurrencies just don't make sense to use in a fast-paced retail setting. So online, maybe it doesn't matter, right? You go on Amazon, you know it's going to take 20 minutes. You just submit the transaction, come back 15 minutes later, and it says you're good. But when you're in a store and there's lines and you're physically there in person, the brick and mortar location, that kind of thing doesn't make sense anymore. It just would never work. So what you have, let's just say you don't want to switch to a different cryptocurrency or anything. You want to stay and use the same one you have. You don't feel like exchanging it to other things first to then transact with it in store. You don't want to take your Bitcoin and have to flip it to USDC to then pay through a USDC wallet or something like that. You want your Bitcoin to be spent via Bitcoin. This is where the Flexa network comes into play. Basically, what Flexa allows you to do is load up your app that's powered by that is true, Bear Elliott. That is true. But then you've got all the other cryptos that might not, you've got people that aren't on board with Bitcoin Cash, and then you've got people that also use other cryptocurrencies that aren't Bitcoin. The thing is here, for those that want to use the cryptocurrency that they use. So yes, there are better alternatives, but for those that want to use their cryptocurrency and don't want to just switch to another one so that then it will work. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever you're using. The solution here is Flexa. Flexa network, what it does is it allows you to load up your cryptocurrency onto the app. So the SPEDN app, for example, SPEDN, you can find it on the iPhone or Android App Store. Check it out now if you want. SPEDN, not SPEND. It's kind of flipped around at the end. And that's powered by the Flexa network. It allows you to load up your cryptocurrency on there that you want to spend. And at any place that has integrated to accept Flexa payments, it will then just allow them with ease to accept payments via any cryptocurrency with near instant approval, no matter what cryptocurrency is being used. The way that they do this is by using the Amp coin as collateral. So remember what we just talked about, how maybe you as the customer, you want to make a purchase $120 US. Tech guys are usually no good at explaining and making good docs. That's what you need though. Okay, let me not get lost here. Anyway, let's just say So you wanted to make that transaction, $120, but it's going to take 20 minutes. You know you have it, but still, it has to be approved by the network first that the transaction is secure. So what Flexa does is it becomes that intermediary between you and the merchant. So it allows you to get your transaction off immediately without having to awkwardly hold up the line for 20 minutes. And it also approves it for you. It basically immediately sends the merchant the approved. So you don't have to do that 20-minute waiting. Now, obviously, the transaction, when it sends that immediate approval out, hasn't actually been approved yet by the blockchain. So Flexa is approving the transaction on your behalf, basically hoping and praying that that it's not fraudulent activity and that the transaction actually ends up being validated and approved by the miners on the network that are securing everything. So it gives the approved to the merchant. The merchant says, all right, cool, we got the payment, so you're good to go. Here's your receipt. Have a nice day. And then 20 minutes later or whatever, then Flexa will get back confirmation from the blockchain saying, yes, this actually was approved, so you're good. They basically front the merchant the money for you, if that makes sense. So then the question becomes, well, how in the world does that work? Couldn't you like scam that, or how do they front the money? So Amp coin is the collateral there. So that $120, Amp basically is the collateral provided by the network that they're basically, like I said, fronting that money to the merchant on your behalf. In exchange for that, each time there's a transaction, there are some very, very small, something like 1% transaction fees, and that gets paid back to the people that are taking the risk by providing the collateral for your transactions. So that's how people that are invested in AMP. So if you hold AMP coin and you stake your AMP coin, you stake it and provide collateral for other customers that are using the network. So then you're basically funding those transactions for people and letting their transactions go through immediately by providing liquidity to that pool, if that makes sense. And then each time that a transaction goes through, your little payment is a portion of the transaction fees. That 1% transaction fee, you get a portion of that. And that's how you accrue money by having your coin staked in the Flexa network. Now, let's just say what happens if the Flexa network validates a transaction on someone's behalf instantly, like it always does, but then Bitcoin blockchain comes back and says, ooh, actually, that person did not have the money that they said they had, and so this transaction is declined. Well, the thing is, the merchant normally, and here's why this is such a big deal. Normally, you would have had to wait in line for 20 minutes so that the merchant could get the approval from the blockchain and say, yes, this transaction is secure, not fraudulent, here's your money, after they confirm it. Flexa immediately confirms it and gives the merchant the money immediately, and that's why it gets approved immediately. So merchant has their money, you can leave the store, Flexa network is left in the middle, hoping and praying it goes through so they don't lose money. So because though, like, let's just say my transaction on my end was fraudulent and I was trying to scam the store already got the collateral up front from AMP. So they're good. They don't care. So that's why it becomes a good idea for stores to accept and integrate the Flexa network, because it doesn't affect them at all. They will always get their money no matter what from AMP. But the thing is then, who ends up taking the hit? Well, it's the Flexa network. The Flexa network basically, yes, the stakers are providing collateral for the good transactions, but then they're also providing collateral for the bad transactions. So if fraudulent activity does happen to go through, then basically that money gets taken out of the stakeholders' pool. And that's how that gets covered, so that the merchant still gets paid. But the idea is, obviously, there's going to be way more successful transactions than unsuccessful, and way more legitimate transactions than fraudulent ones that slip through. So the ones that hold AMP coin and stake it are going to be overall making money, even if every once in a while they lose a couple pennies from a fraudulent transaction they still have to fund. Hope that makes sense. So overall, the idea is just really great. Really great. And so what that allows you to do is, and if you have downloaded the app by now, you can already see, they support a lot of different cryptocurrencies, including Dogecoin. So Bitcoin all of a sudden becomes a viable cryptocurrency for transacting with. Ethereum all of a sudden becomes viable. Dogecoin becomes viable, and all the other cryptos they accept that normally fundamentally are terrible for instant transactions. Now, because of this bridge and this little network that Flexa puts in between, it magically works. The only caveat, I guess you could say, is that you have to preload your Flexa app or account with the funds that you then want to spend in store. It's not like it comes straight out your wallet into the app and then into the merchant's hands in one motion. Like, you take your money, let's just say from your Coinbase account, your Coinbase wallet, you deposit it onto your app, like the Spedin app that runs on the Flexa network. You can then see how much of that cryptocurrency you hold and how much you have available to spend. And so I'll just show you what I'm talking about because I already have it. And you can see right here that it says I have 118 Dogecoin in my Spedin app, which is equivalent to $23.12 USD. And if I want to add funds, I click the plus button. If I do that, it says, what cryptocurrency do you want to add? And you can see here's the ones they accept already. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, CeeLo, Doge, Ethereum, Gemini Dollar, Litecoin, and Zcash. You do that. It's actually pretty simple. It says a little disclaimer. Do not add more Doge than you are, or whatever crypto than you are willing to spend, because right now this application does not accept withdrawals. So anything that you deposit, you must spend it. You cannot take it back and put it back into a wallet. So that's currently the only caveat. Like, once it's on there, the only way to do anything with it is to spend it. You can't take it back off. But then when you want to pay, all you have to do is click the little QR icon top right. Opens up your camera. And here's the list of places that so far accept, that already have the integration. Some popular ones, maybe Regal, Petco, Office Depot, Nordstrom, Lowe's, Bed Bath & Beyond, Hot Topic. So any of those places you can go to, and they already have the Flexa network integration. So basically what you do, you click on them. So I'll just say, I'll click on Nordstrom, and then scan to pay. It'll throw up a Flexa QR code, a special QR code from Flexa. You put that up to whatever scanner thing they have. They scan it, and your transaction goes through, automatically pulls your crypto out of the account. Super easy. Super easy to use. Super easy way to transact with cryptocurrency at your local retail location, as long as they have integration for Flexa. Now, obviously, with online, that gets even easier, because what they probably do is just present you with a QR code, and you use that camera thing to then scan it, and an instant transaction approval. Flexa network approves it on your behalf, waits for and provides the collateral to the merchant on your behalf in advance, and then waits for confirmation back from the blockchain and takes the payment afterward. So it's kind of the future of retail use of cryptocurrency. It makes every single cryptocurrency usable in store. So that kind of gets rid of the need for something like Dogecoin. Kind of. But at the same time, it's kind of like Dogecoin's natively going to be fundamentally great to accept, whereas Flexa is kind of like a workaround way to accept cryptocurrencies that aren't natively good to accept. So Flexa is basically good for Dogecoin and everything else, if you want to be able to spend your crypto. And the cool thing about it is it's decentralized. So unlike using something like any of these other things that aren't decentralized options, like Coinbase, whatever, or BitPay, or whatever else you get into, Flexa is a fully decentralized way to do that. So that's why it's special. It's a really cool concept, and that's why I said the price of Flexa or Amp coin goes up with use. That's because, like I explained, the collateral providers are the ones that buy Amp coin and then stake it. And when you stake it, you get a portion of the transaction, everyone's transaction fees that use the app. And so if Flexa gets accepted and integrate it into Amazon, you can imagine all the extra transactions that Flex is going to get is going to be massive, which means way more money in transaction fees, which means the stakers get way more rewards because they get a portion of those fees. And that's why the price of the coin, the value of the coin goes up, because then more people want to be a part of that action, and the demand for it, for owning that, goes up. So that's how it works. Sorry, that was a long explanation, but I hope that was a good explanation. Let's see. Yes, AMP has gone up. The thing I've realized, you can make the documents idiot-proof. That's why Google is good. They make it easy, so you make it easy. Ethereum does that, but it's not the same for Cardano. Thank you, Roblox. Do I think we can visit 16 on Doge again? Oh, absolutely. 16 on Doge is very possible, and it all depends on if Bitcoin, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it all depends on if Bitcoin can break and hold above 35,000 here. If it cannot, we can very easily head back down towards 16, 17 cents, and that's probably where we're heading. But if Bitcoin does break above 35 and hold, we could be hanging out at higher numbers, maybe Doge 22. Initially, items purchased over the internet were sales tax free. You see what happened to that? Yeah, true. Ethereum was easier. Yeah, Ethereum has that custom. I forgot what the language is. I'm sure you remember. Have I heard of HoloHot? It's faster than Visa? No, I haven't. I'll check that out. I see. Hey, what's up, Zaki? Welcome back. Oh, yeah, I got you, Wanu. That was my fault for skipping around. If I want to make $1 billion, if I want to be a billionaire, Charles Hoskinson's richer than him, invest in Cardano. Yeah, AMP is a very good idea. Right. The higher market cap, the more established it already is. It's like being in late to the party. If you had checked out that coin and bought in early, you would have gotten to ride the wave up to the top of the list. But once it's at the top of the list, it's already done most of its moving. So at that point, it's just probably a solid long-term investment, but you're not going to see like 10, 100x gains in like a year. That coin has already done that. So then you have to find, well, what's the next thing that's going to come up, and look for that early investment opportunity. That's what market cap's really good for indicating. At what point in that asset's life cycle is it at? Is it at the beginning stage with a lot of potential, or has it already reached its max, near its max? It's one thing for Amazon to accept Dogecoin, a whole different level of catalyst if you can transfer directly from wallet to wallet and avoid capital tax on top of regular tax. Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about, like, for example, my website. It is natively accepting cryptocurrency. So that should help you avoid capital gains tax, because you're technically not selling, you're sending crypto. When you pay in crypto, you're sending it to like through Coinbase. It gets routed through Coinbase and then gets sent to like my crypto holding wallet on my Coinbase Commerce business account, and then I can extract it, and then I can then decide what I want to do with it. But from your perspective, you're just sending it to another wallet. So that's one of the cool things about natively accepting Dogecoin and other cryptocurrencies versus using a service like BitPay or something, that what they do is when it's time to transact, they just convert it to fiat first for you, and then they send it to the person as cash. That's the difference. And that's what a lot of people are getting confused about. Yes, it's great for cryptocurrency to make it easier to interact with. Cool, right? But we're already kind of getting beyond the stage where things are already convenient enough, in my opinion. All you need is a freaking Coinbase account and you're fine. Everything becomes convenient enough. You can exchange pretty easily. You can send to people pretty easily. It's not that hard anymore. The problem is now what furthers adoption and makes cryptocurrency more viable and useful. And that is when you natively start seeing people accept crypto as payment. because then you don't have to use something like BitPay anymore to pay to buy things in cryptocurrency. Then you just, it says, all right, your total is going to be $15. And so you pop open your Coinbase app, click send to someone else, and then you get your QR code scanner out. You scan the QR code, and it says, all right, we're sending 121 Dogecoin to this wallet. And it counts as a transfer versus you closing your position, taking profit, and then doing something with the money. And guys, I'll take a second just to show you guys what I'm talking about. For anybody that doesn't know, it's really neat. I discovered this from making a purchase on dogebeans.com, which obviously I'm not affiliated with, but I like them because they accept Dogecoin as payment. And then I was able to integrate it into my project as well, so that was cool. Solidity. CELO USD has been accepted in Ethiopia. Nice. The whales don't predict the outcome, they create it. Exactly. The normal guy has to guess. You might get lucky a few times, but eventually you will lose. That's the whole thing, and that's why I try not to guess too far out. I always, my streams are daily, and we can do TA and usually figure out what's going to happen next, but when you start trying to go out way too far, you don't know what's going to happen, because it's not just the whales either that create the outcome. It's also the emotion influencers out there that aren't even the ones trading, it's the ones talking. So people like Elon Musk, like Mark Cuban, like analysts even that people listen to. A lot of times they can dictate what people do next. So it's a mix of market makers and whoever they may be, whether they're more retail with a lot of share size or they're just corporations, and then the people that actually are influential verbally. I hate that YouTube is deleting so many smaller YouTubers. It's really annoying, man. Yeah, I hate it too. Third time in 3 months. It's crazy. Oh, you meant Kenya? Gotcha. Oh, Solidity. Yeah, I read it randomly. That's right. Solidity is the language. Thank you. Yes. Here we have Bitcoin trying to do a curl thing back up to 35. So let's see what happens there. A few notifications. Oh, thank you, Barry Elliott, for the follow. Don't forget, if you haven't already, retweet that. What are they at so far? 130. They're getting there, guys. So we might see a Dogecoin fire sauce coming soon. Let me show you how easy it is. And this is what I'm talking about. Natively accepting. Hey, thank you for that sub. Stephen Wright. Really appreciate that support. So I'm going to show you real quick on my website how easy it is. And this is not just like me trying to plug. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. Natively accepting cryptocurrency as payment versus having to use a special program to do all the conversion behind the scenes for you and then pay the person in cash, which honestly defeats the purpose. And it also keeps those locations from having to interact with crypto, which also defeats the purpose. Because if we want widespread adoption, why are we shielding corporations from accepting crypto like it's some kind of bad thing? It basically just becomes like a marketing thing. Like, yeah, let them think they're paying with cryptocurrency, and then we're going to take US dollar. No, we want to pay you in crypto, and we want you to accept the crypto as payment. So let's pick, I don't know, let's pick the shirt I'm wearing right now. D is for Doge, Standard Edition, and white. All right. Large is my size. So obviously there's payment options here. I click more payment options. Now I start going through checkout, blah, blah, blah. Let me do this super fast because then I can actually show you what happens. All right. Cool. So this is how easy it is. After you let's change this up. Okay. So you get in here, you you go through, and then it gives you the option of how do you want to pay. So obviously you can pay normal, Amazon Pay, whatever. Coinbase Commerce, as you can see, there's a couple logos here: Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, USDC. If I click Coinbase Commerce and then go next to complete order, this is how easy it becomes to pay with cryptocurrency natively when someone accepts payment natively with a crypto. So now what you can see, you can either pay directly from your Coinbase account. If you have one, is probably maybe an easier way if you click that button. Or regardless, whatever kind of crypto wallet you have. It could be crypto.com, Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, I don't care, MetaMask, whatever. If you have one of these cryptocurrencies and your wallet allows you to send to another person, it's this easy. So let's just do Dogecoin, and that's it. You just click which one you want to pay in. It automatically converts the USD dollar total into how many of that crypto. So for Dogecoin, my total would have been $22.98, and that is equivalent to this much Doge. So it says to make the payment just from your wallet, send Dogecoin to this address below, to this wallet address right here. You can copy and paste it if you're using your desktop, or you can scan the QR code on your phone and then put that amount to send. And literally, it'll just wait maybe 5 seconds. As soon as it realizes that you sent the payment, it gives you the confirmation that you did it. So you're literally just sending your Doge to another wallet as payment, which should, in theory, bypass the capital gains portion of selling it, because you're not cashing out for USD. Now, I guess they could tie that back to, well, what was the value of the good that you bought? So how much was your cost basis for the crypto versus the good that you bought, and try and figure that one out. But still, it's either way, really, really cool and convenient. That's the way it should be. That's what we want Amazon to do. That's what we want Walmart to do, to accept crypto natively, not make us have to use a third-party program that, instead of, like, when you do that, by the way, I get whatever crypto you send. So if you send me Dogecoin, I receive it in Doge. If you send me USDC, I receive USDC. And then I have the option to either cash out with that crypto type, or I can then exchange it myself for something else if I want. And that's what we want them to do. Not us use things like BitPay, which will automatically convert it to cash and then send it to them as cash or something like that. So anyway, I think that's just a really cool process. Let's see. Do I think it's a good plan to sell? Would be selling about 10% of your Doge every 10 cents starting at 70. Yeah, that's a pretty good plan. Maybe even at 60. Just follow me on Twitter. Appreciate that. As we get to $1, though, you'll definitely want to start cashing out, I think. 2022? Otherwise, you'll have to get a job. You sell enough not to pay tax because you dislike the tax people, so you're backlogged. Gotcha. You're at your threshold of tax, so you have to wait until you realize any more profit. And you have both crypto and normal stocks, and you're at... Gotcha. You bought AMD at 5? Wow. Oh. I see. Yeah, taxes are not fun. IRS really doesn't play around. So I understand. I do. I would like to... I know this has been a long stream, guys. I think I'm going to run this for 10 more minutes or so. And then I'm going to call it. But I think we might see a bit of... It looks like we're looking to make a little bit of movement here on Bitcoin. I would like to see what happens as we near 35,000 here. So we'll just watch that play out for just a couple minutes before we run. We're getting a little bit of momentum here. You feel like $1 will be a crazy resistance? Will stay stuck there for a while? Oh, I agree. Unless we had multiple pieces of crazy news, I definitely agree with you. You bought in at 6 cents and bought a little bit before the pump. Cool. So you got a great average. That's good. That's great. And here we go. Bit of a run here from Bitcoin. This is why I didn't want to end quite yet. Let's just see where this goes. We can see here 34,842 right here. This is the previous resistance that it just made at the top. We'll see what happens as we get back there. The point to beat is going to be 35,000, which is only $150 higher than that. Want to see if we... That's not the indicator I was trying to use. Still Doge holding steady, not going up. Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty here in the crypto space. Not too sure about the move. Maybe not sure why it's happening. Just like I'm not. So just like I'm not adding more because of that. It looks like that's what the majority are doing as well. But the thing is, once you get confirmation, so once you start holding above like that 35,000 level, 36,000 level, looking strong, people get confirmation that we are potentially in a reversal, and they'll start buying back in. And that's when you'll see the price kind of rubber band slingshot up out of nowhere. So as long as you're in kind of before that really starts happening and finishes, which is probably before Doge gets to 21 cents in my opinion, you're good. And here's the thing I meant to say earlier. For those that kind of were listening to me on Friday and I was talking about the bearish patterns and why I'm not adding more, and so for that reason you decided not to buy, you really didn't miss that much because Bitcoin took off like a rocket, but Dogecoin really did not. Dogecoin was at what, like 18 cents when we were having that discussion? And now Dogecoin's at 19 cents. So though Bitcoin's up like $4,000, Dogecoin barely moved. So thankfully, nothing was really missed there. Even though the technical analysis did not play out and we went more for a emotionally driven bull run here. Got in at 3 cents. Jeez. All right. A little bit of a move. Oh, you're asking Josh? For anybody wondering about me personally, I've kind of transitioned into trying to... Because I had to sell some of my position. I mean, we've been down here. I've been trading this for like 4 months, guys. And it was like money that technically... was not expendable. Like I did need some of it for other things. So because my position size has reduced, I've kind of gotten into trading crypto options a bit to leverage a little bit and take advantage of the big moves. So wow, that's a pretty strong move up there. So basically, yeah, so I'm technically right now playing off of Bitcoin's price action and fully supporting Doge on my holding accounts. I haven't sold those yet. But for scalping, I'm just doing options, and you can't really trade direct options on Dogecoin, so I'm mostly trading Ethereum calls and puts. I get a little more volatility than Bitcoin, but a little more stability than, well, there's no other option anyway. So that's kind of the most volatile calls and puts you can trade unless you go to a brokerage that's outside the U.S. Because in the U.S. you're not technically, brokerages are not allowed to offer leverage trading or options trading on crypto. So you have to use a decentralized platform to do it. And they don't offer Doge. Not sure if Dogecoin will get to $1 as it's getting harder for people to buy crypto in Europe. But a lot of people have lost money. It'll need to be a lot of naive youngsters to get involved. Yeah, we'll see. My thing is, I've been saying it's a ticking time bomb. It needs to happen sooner rather than later. The longer it takes, the more time Fed gets to enforce regulations, the more time that competition gets to come up, and then it gets harder for Dogecoin to reach $1 as those factors then start going against our cryptocurrencies of choice. If it happens sooner, those things don't happen yet, and we have freedom to move. What's my plan for selling? So on my holding accounts, I'm not selling till we get back to like near $1. It's going to be 70s, 80s, 90s, something up there. On my scalping accounts, I'm not technically holding a position on Dogecoin there. On my scalping accounts, I have Ethereum call options. And so I'm basically trading the same moves, but on a different crypto, because I would trade Dogecoin call options, but they don't exist. So next best thing was Ethereum calls, and Ethereum and Doge move the same way, so we're still trading the same thing basically. Just technically they're different assets. Still trading the same chart. Still both looking at Bitcoin. All right, so it's trying to make a run for the high it just made. Let's see if this double tops here or not. Amp ADA, love me some Amp. And what's up, Fernando? Do I stake? No, I don't stake yet. I don't have enough coins to really stake and make it worth it. But I will one day. I don't like staking. I'm too active. It's great for people that kind of want to buy and hold and accrue money over time, but I'm more of I like to day trade kind of. I like to be more active. Staking doesn't fit that. And guys, if you don't mind, give me some feedback on the website if you haven't checked it out already, whether it's positive or like constructive, or if there's something else you'd like to see, because that is like, it's not just like merch for me, it's like a secondary business I'm really trying to get running. So if you got any ideas or something, or if you like something, obviously you can support by buying something, which would be awesome. But even if not, just let me know, because like I said, that's one of my new ventures, and that's going to really turn into something big, a big store. So imagine holding ETH, BNB, Bitcoin, and stake and leave it for 10 years. That's going to be big passive income. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, yeah. If you are one of those people that's more of like invest in something big and just hold it long term, staking absolutely. But for me, I'm more of like a day trader, so that means I like to have my funds free so I can move them around frequently. Some percentage on like 100K per ETH, having 3 ETH. Jeez. All right, here we go. Trying for that 34.85 again. My website isn't blue. You have to cut and paste it to see it. That's no fun. Are the other links blue? Like my referral links and whatnot? I know that's a big deterrent. That's why I was trying to figure that out. Nobody, not even me, wants to have to go through that hassle. Let's see. Oh, wow. That's weird. Let me try something. HTTPS. Yeah, I could do the slashes. Let's try that. There it goes. Ah, there we go. I fixed the problem, guys. There we go. Maybe that'll make it easier. So that link in my description now, the first link is now clickable. I wonder if that works for the comments too. Let's see. Yes. Check that out. So now I can say cool. Hopefully that made life easier. We are running strong here. This is cool. And here's what we talked about before, guys, because we were obviously gone yesterday. There were just a couple buy opportunities, despite the fact that I really was not a firm believer, and I'm still not. Yeah, I put a new one up. There it goes. I just pinned it. I was really not a firm believer in this move because just fundamentally it didn't seem to make sense when it comes to social sentiment. Just didn't seem like people would be feeling it. Awesome. Thank you, Roblox. Good. Thanks for that feedback. And so, I mean, bearish ascending triangle, we broke out, head and shoulders, still didn't respect that either. And we broke out of there, and then we broke through 4 resistance levels off of that move. Very crazy strength. There were a couple areas that we said we had pullbacks at. I didn't really recommend buying at the obvious bearish pattern because that just technically didn't really make sense. Though obviously hindsight's 2020, and if you knew we were going to disregard all technicals and still go up off negative patterns, then you would have bought in early and you would have seen a couple bucks profit. Cool. But that doesn't make it a good play. High variance play. Then what we talked about was, okay, if Bitcoin, Dogecoin, whatever, breaks through the resistance lines, you can look for an entry on the pullback as it tested for support. Now, we didn't get a super strong pullback here, but we did get some testing here with these first 3 candles as it held right above the 200 EMA line, and that's above the ascending wedge resistance, above the 33K, above the descending line, and above the 200 EMA. So this was really kind of the only relatively safe but kind of risky still buy area. And at that point, that was still in the like 19-cent range that was still like 19-cent range in Dogecoin, and we're at like 19.5 now. So you really didn't miss anything by not buying at early. This was the only early buy that made sense. Obviously, you wouldn't buy here because there's the highest chance that this candle ends up coming back down and closing somewhere bad, and you just have a bad entry buying at the top. This was the only spot that made sense to buy. This was like 19 cents. Now we're at like 19.7 or something. So honestly, nothing was lost there. But now, I mean, that was obviously the first buy opportunity. So I say nothing's lost yet, but if we end up breaking through this and moving up, that becomes kind of a different story. But that was one buy opportunity if you were believing in it. And now we're about to see what happens as we approach these resistances here. So we just created like a 34.8 resistance because that's where the top of this candle hit before we pulled back. Now we're trying to break that and head towards 35,000, which is the real resistance level. And we'll see if we break through that. If we do, that's going to be a good sign. Now, as you can see where this yellow line is, that's about where the top of these candles kind of ended up slowing down. So that is just a bit of a level, even though it's a smaller one. So that explains the slowdown right there. And massive, massive rejection wick and candle here as we're starting to sell off. Does not look like the people were feeling that very much. But yeah, guys, let me know. Obviously, you're probably checking out the site, but let me know what you think. If there's anything you like, if I don't have like a color that you'd want it in, or the size that you want, or if there's some other problem, or you have a question, let me know. Because I don't make a milli of them like at scale, I can also change them up a little bit per person if I need to. Let's see. I really like this live for Crypto Doge way better than the other ones. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, Roblox. Means a lot. What's my job? And thank you, FPF. So I do few things. I kind of do a lot of things, but the primary things I do, my 9 to 5, I'm like a call center manager for a national company. So that's a pretty busy job, kind of 7 days a week, never really not working. But then outside of that, I've got like some other businesses that I own that I do some side work, including now the clothing apparel business that I'm trying to get into. Because like I said, I don't want it to be a merch thing. I don't know if you can tell. Usually when people do merch, they just outsource it and have it drop shipped to you. They don't do any of the work themselves. It's really just a thing where they get someone to make them a couple logos. They'll kind of throw it over to the drop shipping company and have like a site put together, and they never interact with it again. But it's just a way for them to make money on the side as people buy their merch. And then they'll make like $5 off each shirt or something after the drop shipping company takes the majority of the money. Just a very side extra way to make money. But I'm trying to make actual crypto related clothing. It has nothing to do with merch or trying to sell my merch to support the channel. Specifically, it's more to start a crypto clothing line. And it's just going to be a business versus a merch store, if that makes sense. Home is underlined, catalog is not. Oh, that's weird. Let me see. Okay, now we're getting rejection wicks on the bottom side, so let's see how this turns out. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, okay. That's because you start on the home tab. If you click catalog, then it underlines catalog. That's weird, but it doesn't let me change that either. Good catch, though. Huh. Am I looking to get out of the 9 to 5? I'm in the same situation. You make just enough for living with your business, so you work to invest more. But if you had sold Doge at the top, you would have been good for business only. Man, yeah, I understand. I would, obviously the goal I think for everybody is to not have to work a 9 to 5 forever. So I would say because of that, yes, I mean the eventual goal is to get out of the 9 to 5. I happen to like my job though and kind of what I do, so I'm definitely not in like a rush to quit or anything like that. I don't even like to think about quitting because I do have a team of people that I enjoy, right, that I support. But obviously the goal would be, it would be great if this live streaming thing could take off to a point where I could sustain myself the same way doing that instead. And then at that point, if it was doing substantially better than my 9 to 5, then at that point I'd probably start to look into transitioning out. Because the main thing, if I leave my 9 to 5, it wouldn't be because so much, probably because of YouTube. As much as it would be like it would open up the opportunity for me to do additional things as well. Because if, for example, YouTube, yes, it is extremely time consuming because before and after videos and live streams, there's editing, there's research to be done, but it typically is not as rigid as 9 to 5, which allows you more time, let's just say before and after streams, to do other things. So you can run other businesses too and do other things to make money, whether that's like small little jobs or, for example, running a clothing line before and after your stream or something like that. And then doing some other side gigs before and after. So you just have more time to do other things. But I mean, I will say that What I would be able to do if YouTube supported me and I didn't have to do the 9 to 5 would be I could live stream like during the day more, like in the morning market open streams for people that enjoy trading the stock market, for example, because that's something I've always wanted to do, but I literally can't, stream at 9:30 a.m. my time. That's the time I'm the busiest at work and just getting started. I'd probably get fired. So I can't do that. That is something I'd be able to do. And then do like live trading the stock market on stream. And that could really like help level everybody else up too. So that would be awesome. But that would be something that comes way later after this actually provides for me financially, because it currently does not. Sidhu says, white shirt, small black D, where Ralph Lauren horse goes. Is that what you're saying you would like, Sidhu? Let me see. Ralph Lauren shirt. So, okay, Sidhu, so you're basically just saying a white shirt in small with like the Dogecoin D as the logo, like where the Ralph Lauren logo usually goes on the Ralph shirts. For example, like this. Okay. Like logo, Dogecoin small D logo. We're in the pocket area. Bitcoin is not going to see 35,000 today. Your name suits you. That's funny. How about a polo with a Doge logo? Small, like the alligator. So kind of the same thing. If no one works, the whole system collapses. You need people to work. True. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Thank you. My old man owns a t-shirt business if you need anything. Okay. Appreciate that. I'll keep that in mind, Jason. And welcome to the channel. Good to see you. All right, so here we'll see what happens here. This could be good or bad for Bitcoin here. This green candle has to be massive, and it so far is, and it's got to start heading up. There's resistance at about 34.8 here, and then there's resistance at 35. What you don't really want to see is this candle get stalled out here at the yellow line and then start heading back down. Wouldn't usually be too good. Buying direct from Alibaba, a Chinese wholesaler, and selling on eBay might be a good way to make money. Yeah, that's true. I don't want to like go the cheap route. I know that's a thing, and it really is a thing, by the way. Like, I could get shirts at a third of the cost and use material at a third of the cost too, and then sell them at like half the cost and make more profit and probably get more sales just because the material and the shirts are like garbage tier. But I don't want to like do that. I specifically want them to be garments that I would want to wear. Not be like, ooh, here's a Dogecoin shirt, and so I'll sacrifice everything to have the Dogecoin or crypto logo on it. I want it to be like an actual retail quality shirt. I have considered it though. But that's just always been my motto. It's like if I provide something, it needs to be something that I would want to engage with if I was the person on the other end. So when I did tech reviews, half the reason I didn't make videos was because I didn't have enough time to make and edit like quality videos that I felt like I would want to watch, and so I just didn't upload any. And then same for why I went live. I was like, there's no streams that I want to watch that. So I said, I will provide the streams of quality that I would want to find on YouTube. And so what does that entail? People actually giving useful information, me not clickbaiting, just to get people to come watch, even though it would work early on. I would be one of the channels I hate watching myself, or stumbling across, getting clickbaited by, and then you click on the title, and it's like breaking news, new Dogecoin news that will change everything. Dogecoin going to $5 within 2 weeks. You click on it, and they read an article that you had just read that basically said Elon Musk tweeted a picture with Dogecoin and his sunglasses, so that must mean he's still on board. You're just like, I'm sorry? Yeah. So it's definitely the slow, long, painful road, but I still feel good about myself doing it. One new says, and that's why you'll last. Appreciate that. But no, appreciate that advice though. Hello, that's obviously your advice was good for retail play. I just kind of made the conscious decision already that I was gonna do something a little different. And wow, it's been 2.5 hours, guys. Let's give this no more than a couple more minutes. We are at the point here, which is why I don't want to just end it now. But it is Sunday night, so. This is looking pretty good, I'm not going to lie. What you could see is some FOMO buy-in here and then a reversal. Wouldn't be surprised to see that. Usually towards the end of an up move, you see a lot of big green candles as the FOMO buyers come in and they're like, ooh, I better buy in now. And then that's when everyone ends up taking profit. So we'll see. Let me, while this happens, I'll get you a quick mock-up, Sadu. If Bitcoin broke resistance at the 3 resistance at the same time, I think it might make it. Me too. I think it might too. Obviously, I'm not going to be bearish forever, but the confirmation is really at getting to 35-ish, 36,000 and holding there and starting to be comfortable on the top side of that level again. Once we get that confirmation, I'll stop talking about a potential crash, and we're just about there. So, and that's why I'm saying, you know, anyone that's patiently playing this out, they're going to be thinking the same way if they're trying to be smart. So at that point, you might start seeing people that think like me as well start buying in, and you could see a surge of buy pressure. Right here, I think you're probably seeing a bit of FOMO buys in because, yes, we are holding at support, and yes, we are still looking good, but we're also seeing increased buying pressure right into the 35,000 level, which is a extremely hard resistance. Might see a lot of people get faked out, or we might see something special. $34.9, very high. Do I stream at the same time every day? No, but I try to stream around the same time every day, which is going to be right around like 5 p.m. Eastern time. Give or take probably an hour. Just depends on the day. If work is slow, I can get a stream off closer to market close, stock market close, or if not, it's going to be closer to like 5:30 Eastern. Maybe 6, but I do schedule it still. I try like at least a half hour in advance so that the notifications go out and you know what you're kind of getting in for. We're starting to see a bit of a pullback here as we get close to 35. We'll see how this plays out. Let's get a bit of music going again. It's kind of clean. I need to watch your analysis, especially when I'm near my selling point. Watching Miles makes you think it's going up every day. Yeah. No, I understand. The thing is, a lot of the streamers out there, and I understand, like, half the community does not necessarily want to hear Dogecoin's going down. Dogecoin's probably going to go down over and over again. People want to hear what makes them feel good and some kind of reason to support that. So those content creators, their foundation is based upon, like, their viewer base is usually those people that have gotten used to hearing that information and coming back for more. So for them to flip the switch all of a sudden and start telling people like the bearish side of things all the time, like, not only will they probably lose some of those people that don't want to hear it, but then it really just isn't a view grabber to make people feel bad about their investment every day. So I understand it, and that's why I try not to bash those guys. But at the same time, it doesn't really help anybody to keep. Eventually, you'll be right if you keep saying that one day, right? But that doesn't actually benefit you short term or anything within a reasonable amount of time. But the whole thing on this channel, it has nothing to do with views. Those don't, like, if it did, I wouldn't be doing this content, obviously. It's not a view puller, but helping people trade properly, especially those that are new to trading. There's a lot of people here that just got started trading with Dogecoin. Like, they're not traders by any means, but they just got into investing. Like, first time opening a Robinhood or Webull account or something, just because of Dogecoin and that movement. So kind of have no idea what they're doing. They're learning as they go. And those kind of people are extremely susceptible to emotionally driven, which is standard, bad decisions that they could easily avoid if they just had a little bit of guidance or training and make a lot of money versus kind of breaking even all the time or making a lot and then losing a little more than that. So that's what this channel is for, to make sure everybody's on the right page, planning things out in advance, executing those plans when the time comes, whichever direction that goes in. This looks pretty good, not gonna lie. And remaining profitable. Is my chart set for a minute? I'm on the 3-minute chart. 3-minute sums things up way better. If this breaks 35, expect I would just expect a big boom. Here it goes. Breakout traders, will they come in? Now, this isn't the stock market, right? So typically, if this was a stock, you would have seen that immediately take off. There's not as many people that have like limit buys and such put in automatically. Platforms don't usually support that, but typically you'll see breakout traders. If there was enough momentum there, that could have been a massive move up. We'll see how this plays. But yeah, I use the 3 minute. It summarizes the info way better in my opinion without giving me too much. For example, I didn't really need to know the info that it was giving me here on the 1, but the 3 puts things into perfect perspective for me. All right. Looks like we want to make a bit of a run here. FOMO buyers are holding this up for sure. Yeah, we could go 37. Doge at 19.7. Nice. Doge is still lagging, honestly. It should be higher than that for sure. Now, this is kind of doing the same thing it did right here. All right, so if you see this slanted head and shoulders that ended up taking off like a rocket, is that a new thing now? But that's what it just did here again. So whoa. Yeah, we could see 37, I'd say, peak. If this continues up. On the 4 hour, it doesn't look so bad at all. Doge is, that's the thing. Like on Bitcoin, you feel like, oh man, I'm missing out. Dogecoin is barely budging. So until Dogecoin takes off, you're really not, I mean, you're just kicking back and watching the movie as Dogecoin does not move. And you still have a chance for a low entry. The problem is if Bitcoin slows down and starts reversing course, because Dogecoin will go down with Bitcoin, even if it's not going up. Watch whales trade. I told you it was going to pump. Yeah, you did. Let's see. But yeah, you're right, FPF. Bitcoin on the daily looks super good. It does. Bitcoin on the 4 hour even looks good. Can she go all the way? There's the question. Sedu. Just messing around with this. Is this kind of what you were talking about, Sadu? With the D where the Ralph Lauren-ish logo would usually go? Like in that pocket area? You said at first Doge was going to pump. There you go, Alrod. Juan, am I still live? Yes, sir. This is exciting. Your new sports is looking at this. Man, once you get into looking at it, there's no going back. You're here locked in. That's nice you'd buy that shirt. I'll list it. I had some really... I couldn't do... I'm trying to keep my store as clean as possible. But obviously when you're getting into D being the logo, there were some funny ideas I had. But I'm not going to do that. But that's the thing, guys. I've already designed like variants of a lot. Like the logo I already got. The shirts I already got and have. So I will custom make things for people if that's what you want. And if they are good enough designs, I will even post it and I will credit you for the design that you gave me if it's like one that seems like people will want to also buy it and it's not just a one-off. For example, there's already one up there. There's two up there. There's one Preezy created. There's one that Artful created too. So Preezy did the Whale in Training shirt on my site, and then Artful did the matte black Doge, the subtle Doge. And then Sadu will have credits on this one. Look at that, guys. We're taking off. You love that white shirt? Okay. All right. There's 3 people. I'll go ahead and make it. So. And don't forget, when you check out, if you want one of these, if you already have one and you don't want it, okay, understand. These things are like solid. They're heavy. If you want one of these Doge coins, they're pretty cool. Use the promo code free coin when you check out, and it'll get added to your cart for free. We're doing nice. Let me check on Doge and Ethereum here, because... All right, a bit of momentum gainer here, but Doge is still lagging so hard, guys. This is so bad. This is not bad if you're not in, but it is bad if you are in, and we're hoping. Ethereum's even lagging. Ethereum should be at like mid 2200s here, but you can see once it breaks 2200 on ETH is going to take off a bit. Is black an option as well? Yes, absolutely. It'll be available in black and white, and it'll probably be up within 5 minutes. I'm about to create it and upload it, and I've already got the template to make it. So then once you order it, it gets made to order and shipped out same day. So if you order it today, I will ship it today. Whoa, where'd my Webull go? Yeah, if you order anything, I will make it the same day. Even if it's like midnight, I will still make it. Well, if it's midnight, maybe I won't go to the post office at midnight. But if it's like anything before a reasonable driving cutoff, I will make it and go straight to the post office and mail it to you. So it will be in the mail the same day. If for some reason you want a size I don't have, just tell me, and then I will order the size for you, and then I will make the shirt and then send it to you. Usually the shirt sizes that I don't have will still get here, but within like 2 days or 3. And then they get made and sent same day after I get your whatever you asked for. Oh, back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the exciting one here. As weird as that is, usually Bitcoin's the one that isn't moving. What a pump. Bitcoin 1 minute chart. Oh, yeah, let's look at that. That's kind of fun. Anyone with Bitcoin specific calls is having a good time. Hey, Sadu, I didn't get your feedback, though. Oh, you said yes? I'll just show it one more time, Sadu, because obviously you're the one that requested it, so I want to make sure it's up to your spec. And that is almost exact how the shirt looks, too. They are nice white shirts. I made sure of it. I bought like 10 white shirts to test and wasted money on the other ones, including this one. This was one of the ones I decided not to sell. That's why I'm wearing it and it's not being shipped to somebody. But yeah. Yeah, that's pretty clean. I'm going to have to make one for myself. I like the subtle designs you guys come with. Not everything has to be like flashy and over the top. It's very subtle, low key, gets the point across. Looks like it wants to make another run. Check that out. Go Bitcoin, do your thing. Like I said, guys, I'm still technically, I'm in. I am in, right? It may not be Dogecoin, but I have calls on this crypto move, basically. So I am in. I'm just not adding to it because I don't see the catalyst for it to continue. So that's me maybe just being overly bearish, but I'm playing it safe, and at the same time, I also don't want to FOMO buy in. That's the worst thing you can do. If you make a decision, is then being like, look at all these green candles. Now it's at the moon already. I was wrong. I'm going to buy in now. Usually you'd make that decision once everyone else gets satisfied with the massive move and decides to sell. So if you happen to be wrong or just kind of too bearish or too bullish, you do have to accept your lack of profit or a little bit of loss that you incur by being too opinionated. And that happens sometimes. And all you can do is correct course and get back in at the next time or sell at the next time that actually makes sense. And you've either missed out on a little bit of profit or missed out on being able to cut a little bit of loss. But then you get back, once you're back in on the right track, then you just ride the rest out. And obviously it doesn't matter anymore because then you correct and you make your profit as you continue on from there. It just is what it is. I mean, hindsight 2020, would I have bought another call? Probably. But am I mad? No, not at all. There was no... Oh, well, all right. Surprise. I wasn't going to show that, but there's kind of the black one. Yeah. Smaller, but just by a tiny bit. Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. That's why I wanted to show it again. It won't let me mock it up any smaller, but let me see if I can. Maybe I just have to use my... Oh, there's my Photoshop, guys. There's where I do my work. All right. Okay, so let me physically make it smaller, and then I'll shrink it there. Yeah. Nice. Bitcoin's running, Doge is walking. Yeah, I agree. Can I order the man and the beach? I don't have access to that, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I would sell it if I could. Well, maybe not. Probably end up in jail. Thanks for spreading knowledge to not too many people take time to read comments or spread the word. Yeah, absolutely, Juan. Appreciate that. Glad to help. That's the whole reason I'm here. The exchanges, they very well could be. We're going to 20 cents? Yes, sir. That's the way it looks. But yeah, okay, black shirt is an option as well. And that will be up like a couple minutes. I'm still trying to get the shirt perfected for y'all. The 28th will be the talk with Vitalik. Yeah, and Doge says apparently ETH going to help Doge on some stuff, vice versa. Is a catalyst or not enough viewers in this? No, it's definitely a catalyst. It's definitely a catalyst. Most people in the Doge community know and will be tuning in. And if there's good enough news there, we could see some more people buy into Dogecoin. So I think it's a catalyst for a couple cents, I'll just say. I don't know if we'll hear anything crazy. But it could at least start a little run-up. A little pre-event hype run-up and then a sell-off. Just like the B event, just like everything else. Y'all are funny. Let's see. How's okay. That size? That's probably pretty good, right? Shrunk it down a little more. Or maybe a little higher up. And to the left. Ish. Yeah. You almost FOMO'd in. Thanks for the advice. I needed it in that moment. Yeah, no problem, man. Hopefully everybody already has some sort of position. Whether or not you added it to it at ideal places or not, so be it. I hope nobody's completely out because, I mean, you know, there was an opportunity to have made like 2 cents already, whether you bought in at 17 or 18. Now we're at 19, 20. That was the place to get in at 17. We had already talked about that. That day before the B-word event was like the absolute buy place. And then buying after that, it was just bound to get confusing because we knew we were going to have a run-up from the Bitcoin event, at the very least a hype run-up, which was going to make the price go up. And then we knew after that, depending on the announcements, that we were going to have either a bullish continuation or potentially a sell-off, but getting in early at 17-ish, 18 cents was the only play that made sense, not buying there. And when there's no other option but to have the price go up because it's a big event. The price isn't going to go down with hype that Bitcoin could recover for good and go back to $60,000. So not buying there kind of would have messed you up if you weren't in at 17. Now, if you bought 16, 17, sold 19, obviously getting back in anywhere is kind of just up to you because you're only 1 cent away from where you sold. It's not like you missed a whole lot. But if you didn't buy at all at 17 and you're still looking for an entry, this is the point that I was talking about back when we were at 17, where things get a little unfortunate for you because by being too greedy, just honestly in trading, that's what it is, by being too greedy and not buying the obvious dip, then you end up a couple cents later, a couple days or weeks later looking like, ah, man, I should have bought. Now where do I enter? And now everything's much riskier. And now you're like, well, do I buy here? Does it hold? If not, I'm already on the losing pattern. Now I'm even higher up at another support. Do I buy here? Does it hold? If not, now I've got all this room down. So, hey, Matthew. Whale in training, according to Rick. But yeah, this looks nice for Bitcoin. Let's see how Doge is handling it. 19.7. Man, I'll tell you what. Crypto market is not feeling it. But when they do feel it, we will see them take off like a rocket ship. But like I said, the nice thing is there's not much FOMO to be had here because Dogecoin really isn't moving. So whether or not you bought in 15 minutes ago here or a day ago or two here, the price has only gone up like half of a cent. So at this point, nothing has changed on Dogecoin. If you were in Bitcoin, obviously you would have made $2,000 by now, but Dogecoin, no. A black version, yes sir. So this is going to be hard to see. Usually when I do the mock-ups, I use a very, 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 very dark gray shirt with the matte black logo so you can actually see the black because it's very hard to show in pictures. But let me try it on an actual black shirt and see if it comes up. Ooh, barely. This is a black shirt. In reality, this matte portion will stand out more and will look like a deep black, if that makes sense. So right here where it looks kind of washed out, it'll look like a deep, almost wet matte black logo, if you can imagine that. Maybe I should just use the gray one again as the example like I always do. Dum, 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 dum. kind of like that color black, you know what I mean? That's how it will stand out on the actual black shirt. But when I mock up with a black shirt, obviously the system's like, what? Hey, appreciate you, Matt. How's it going? To the moon, Alrod. Yes, to the moon. Alrod says, I didn't know I was going to make money tonight. Me neither. Things weren't looking so great. I'm not at all mad about this, guys, by the way. Like I said, I am technically in. Yes, if it's going to keep rocketing, I would have liked to be in earlier with a larger position. But who cares? Profit's profit. It is what it is. We play things so that we don't lose money. It's not so that we can make every single penny on every single move. That's not how proper trading goes. Remaining profitable is the hardest thing about trading. If you can do that and still make a lot of money, congrats. Looks like it's holding above 35K. Where's the next resistance? Like 36 is really the next level. The 35 to 36 range, once it passes that, things are looking pretty good. All right, so let's just put that there. And let's delete this. Hit like, guys. Appreciate that, Sadu. All right, I'll go ahead and throw the shirts up for the peoples. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. Let's go back to the 1 minute here. This is what I was talking about. Once we passed 35, if we held, we'd probably see another spurt. And you could see we passed, pulled back, took off like a rocket, and now we're still taking off. This is pretty neat. I'm glad because I'm still a couple of dollars off from being profitable on my call that I bought days ago. I'm probably not going to trade call options on that platform anymore. I don't like the spread. I'll name it the very subtle Doge. I don't know why I like that name. The subtle Doge. The very subtle Doge. Or I can name it the incognito Doge. One sec, guys. Oh. Couple comments. Hit the like, guys. How did you know it was going to rocket up after 35K? It's just kind of, it's just the way trading works. So 35,000 was a really strong resistance line. And anytime people see the price break, it's just how, like, so support and resistance, right? Anytime people see a price go below what's supposed to be a floor, they panic and they sell. And that's why you see the price usually start to fall even faster, because people start selling their positions. That increases the pressure of the selling pressure, which makes the price go down harder. And it's vice versa on the upside. This is a strong resistance, which means people usually are more reluctant to buy here. But once they see it break through, they're like, oh, we're strong enough to get through. That means we're probably strong enough to continue up. And so they then buy in. And usually there's a certain style of trader called the breakout trader that waits for breaks above resistance lines. So confirmation, the price action strong enough to move through a resistance. And then when they see that it broke through, they'll buy it right at that new support. And then there's also just FOMO buyers, retail buyers that are like, oh man, the price is going to keep going to the moon. I'm just going to buy in now. So when you pass through a resistance and it's looking decent, usually you see another surge before the next thing happens. That could be a reversal or continuation. And so that's what we saw here. What's up, everyone? I might have missed you. Say this, but why is Doge not following the Bitcoin moves up? There's a lot of fear in the market right now. People aren't convinced that this Bitcoin reversal is the real reversal for good, and they might be thinking it's more of a fake out move. Usually, when that's the case, the price action does not really move very much. On the altcoins, whereas Bitcoin will be rocketing and doing its own thing. So that link should take you right to that shirt we just made, guys, if you want to check it out. Now, I get 2 more actual shirt shipments in. So if you pick one of the more rare sizes, it will either ship tomorrow. It should ship tomorrow. Yeah. Most of the sizes in black I have, the white ones, it'll vary. If you're going like 2XL or like small, it'll probably ship out tomorrow, but I'll keep you updated. But either way, you can still order it and lock that in, and then I'll know that that's what you want. Don't forget, use the promo code FREECOIN if you want one of those Doge coins with it. And it'll automatically add it to your cart for free, which is like $6 by itself or something on the site. I think this is the reversal we were waiting on to continue this year's bull cycle. It very well could be. Guys, it was very overdue. The nice thing is we're getting, thanks to the way the price action's playing out, we're getting to wait and see while also not missing out on anything because Dogecoin is barely moving. So we get to wait and watch Bitcoin's price action play out and see if it is or not without having to worry about getting faked out on Dogecoin looking for a buy. So if you're in, cool. If you're not, Dogecoin's barely moved, so it's not like you're over here FOMOing because the price action's barely moving. In fact, I think we were higher earlier today. We were like at 20 cents, right? Or was that yesterday when Bitcoin was $2,000 lower? So really nothing's happening on the thing that you really want to be invested in, so that's cool. And if you decide to check out with Doge, please let me know like how it goes. And I'll add it to the testimonials thing at the bottom. And Sadu, you should see your name in that description. It's pretty fun, guys. Hopefully it's stuff that you also like want, because that's the whole purpose of it. Of course, it helps support me with the streaming thing, considering I don't actually profit off any of these videos that we make. But also making actual, useful, cool Dogecoin clothes for the communities. Awesome. Bitcoin making another run here. Wow. At this point, I'm just kind of waiting for the other guys to catch up. Double bottom, so there's that. That looks decent. Maybe this is where we see some Dogecoin people buy in. Very, very obvious double bottom. Only problem with shorting, you have to use leverage. After the red candles, how can we tell if the price is going up or down? After this? Whoa. It really just depends. I mean, you have to just watch and see. The thing is not so much what do the couple green candles or couple red candles say, but what does the overall thing say? And the thing you're trying to figure out is where is the bottom and where is the top? And then once it gets to that top, what is it going to do then? The little candles in between aren't so important unless you're looking for an entry, and those entries should still be near the bottom of something. So, for example, these red candles here shouldn't really be too concerning because you're really trying to read the overall move. We know this is a bottom, we know this is a top, and so we're wondering what's going to happen in between here. Buying would have been confirmation on holding at 35 if you're trying to scalp. Once you started seeing this, maybe you could have chanced to buy here, stop loss somewhere like here, and take profit anywhere up here. So usually the easiest way to tell if it's going down is if the red candle move is more substantial than the green candle move. That's the easiest way to say it. So for example, this little move right here, you have a massive green candle, but then if you had an even bigger red candle, that's probably your sign that this move going up is over, because that's the selling pressure now being greater than the buying pressure. Instead, what we're getting is a green candle, red candle, and if this green candle comes to here, that's probably going to be a continuation. That's the most common 3-candle bullish continuation. Green, red, green. And then there's also red, green, red on the way down. But in that case, this green candle needs to come here. But there's also what usually happens sometimes. You get a green, red, half green, green, and then move up. You just get used to seeing it, and studying charts and patterns helps. But this candle is important. And now we might see the one I just said, the green, red, green, green. Or you might just see this start dying off. Looking at coin market cap, Bitcoin's up 3% today, whereas Dogecoin's not up at even 1%. It's less than 0.5% up, and Ethereum's up even less than that at 0.12% up. Check that out. That's crazy. And Amp is up 21% again over yesterday. Amp is schmoving, guys. Amp was the play I wanted to get in yesterday, but I forgot. A little annoyed, to be honest. There it is. Green, red, green, green. So, dude, let me know how that goes, by the way. I know you were asking about the shipping, too. I just want to make sure that y'all are good before I end stream, because it's been over 3 hours now, so I definitely have to go. Even though this is exciting. Wow. Now, here's the only reason I can think why people on the altcoin side aren't buying in is because we've seen this before, but it wasn't to this. I mean, it was kind of to this extent. If you look here, the last time this happened, there was a break above the descending trend line, consolidation, massive green candle, and a big continuation up to like the point where it would have signified something massive. And then we got an equally big red candle and it just started the downtrend. At this point in time, if we were to compare move to move, I mean, we are basically here. Bitcoin on crack right now? Yeah. Green candle. We're basically here. So 36-ish, by the way, if you look at where this 36,000 level is, you can see top here, maybe 36.5 could be a potential spot where we say it ends. If it... Okay. Because if it goes above this, that really starts looking positive, right? That starts looking very positive. So I'm going to put this just a little high, right at the 36.6 line. And I mean, it's definitely gained some ground. Let's see if we end up seeing this thing. Hey guys, I did throw that shirt up there, by the way. I did list it. So if you wanted to grab it, let me know how that goes. Especially if you check out with Dogecoin, so let me know how smooth it is. I would love to hear feedback on that. I've tried it myself, and it's actually pretty fun. And I wish more people would do it. It's so easy. It's honestly way easier than normal checkout. Because you don't have to input like credit card numbers. You just scan a QR code or just copy and paste a wallet address. And it's all handled by Coinbase Commerce. So it's not directly going to my wallet. It is handled through the website software payment system backend. It's not my hands touching it. It is very legit. Let's see. Doge not moving, but someone says Ethereum is. Let's see. That's not Ethereum. Yeah, a little bit of movement here. Finally, my call's in the green. Took forever. Oh. Yeah, there goes ETH. Joseph says, kinda. Yep, finally. Finally. Well, is my call even in the green? I don't remember what my what the strike price was, or the break-even price rather. Let me load it up. Because the thing was, it was a 7-day call, and obviously, if you get a longer-term call, unless, well, you can't even pick your strike price though. That's the problem. Finally back in the green on Bitcoin. Glad I bought that dip at 29.5. Nice, nice. Oh, 29.5. You really bought at the right time there. That's awesome. Let me delete this real quick. Little bit of steam runoff there at right around the 36,000 level. So that's not necessarily great news. Finally back in the green on Bitcoin. Glad you bought that dip. Yep. Sorry, I just read that twice. I think Doge starts to move when Bitcoin's at 40K. That's pretty reasonable. I think anything over like near 37 plus is when Bitcoin Doge will probably start to bump up a bit. But yeah, past 40, past 42, absolutely rocket for sure. Let's see what this red candle does. All right, guys, I got to wrap up here. It's getting pretty late. So what's G Bitcoin? Is it impacting? I don't know what that is. Not at the moment. Yeah, it would be awesome if this is the reversal and things start to go up from here. That would be great. I agree. I agree, Jason. And thankfully, Doge is still pretty cheap. So whether or not you bought in at 19 or not, you could still get in basically at 19 or at like 20, which is basically the same thing. So if we get confirmation like above 36K or something, or another bounce off 35 and it starts looking bullish again, another opportunity. But all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. I do need to run and like eat and live, you know, outside of the stream a little bit today. So appreciate you all for hanging out, and it's been a good time. Glad to be back. Glad to see everyone again. And of course, I'll see you all tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed, do that. It'd be in your best interest, I believe. But just to take a zoom out here, take one last glance at where we're at and what things are looking like and kind of what to look for next. So as you can see, Bitcoin is approaching 36,000, and what it did here was actually very, very, very bullish, and it does look like this could be the beginning of the reversal for good. And there's a couple reasons why, and to make it just easier to see, I'll color this line purple or something. Maybe that didn't help. White. So you see here the descending trend line that we never really broke and stayed above at any point. Now, it looked like we were looking to do that again, but then at this point in time, we got this massive candle up. If we can, at some point today into tomorrow or the day after, break through 36,000 and start trading on the top side of that and heading towards 40, we're not doing this again, this little fake out move, but instead, we're actually probably reversing for good, and that will be the point where we start heading up for good. All right, so yeah, FPF, basically what you want to look for is a break above 36,000 and a pullback where it's holding there and still looking strong. If it holds above 36, I mean, you can give it a try. The thing is, Dogecoin is low still. Dogecoin isn't at 23, 24 cents right now with a chance of going back to 16. Dogecoin's still at 19 cents. So you buying here is almost the same as if you had bought here because the price just hasn't moved yet. Now, that being said, if Bitcoin doesn't hold, the price will go down. So yes, you still will have room down to 16, 15, 14. But I'm just saying it's still relatively low risk if you look and consider this a potential support. If we break it and then hold it and look for a buy, if it still looks decent, like it's going to bounce off of it. Obviously, if it looks really weak, then maybe you won't enter and you'll just play it a little safer. The other thing to look for is what if this does not break? And what if this is the end and it runs out of steam? Bouncing off 36K and heading back down under 35 and then down to 34, this would probably be really bad. You don't want to see it pull back that far. And, you know, if we end up under 33,000, we're probably crashing back to teens on Dogecoin. All right, that's just back to low teens. Because this, if that happens, what you end up happening or having is the same thing that happened here, where everybody gets excited and they're like, ooh, this looks like this is it. Then it fails and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this isn't it. This was our second chance and we're really not going to break even still. Now we're heading back into bearish territory. I'm out and we're probably going to see crash to 25,000 or maybe a little bit less. That's going to be mid to low or probably just low teens on Dogecoin. So 36 is really that spot. 35 to 36 is a window. That's why I said 35 this whole time. But we already know from when we talked weeks before, 35 to 36, maybe even 37, but I don't want to go that far. It's been a window. So, and there's two levels just very close to each other. 35 is a level, as you can see right here, all these bottoms at 35. But then you've got more price action right here at 36 as well. So, got to keep an eye on both and see what happens. That's pretty much it. I will be on Twitter, guys, to provide updates. And, of course, I'll be in the Discord group, the members-only one, to chat with you guys there. Doge at 20, nice. So starting to see some movement. The only problem here is that Bitcoin is at a top, so not particularly a buy moment, as it's bouncing off resistance, deciding if it's going to die here or come back up, bounce down again, or come up and hold somehow and continue further. So this moment isn't particularly a buy. If you want to buy in, it needs to be on the top side of that yellow line with confirmation, or here at the 200 EMA, or down here at the next support line, 34,000 or 33. So that's the quick wrap up. But thank you guys for hanging out today. I am going to run. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter, or you can find me on Instagram. Well, probably easier just to find me on Twitter at 2020 Tech Reviews. And of course, I'll be there. So thanks again for hanging out. Don't forget to check out the store. If you liked that white shirt, it is now up. That link I just posted not long ago. Or you can just find it on myhodlwear.com. And feel free to support the channel by buying one or two or whatever. And it'll come with a free Dogecoin too. So thanks, guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.